All right. Good evening to everybody. Welcome to this week's live stream, which will be focusing on psychometry. And we have a couple of visualization exercises. I can hear myself.
My bad.
I'll say it's not me, Scott.
That's all right.
Oops.
That's all good. And we've got a couple of visualization exercises to do with you guys as well, which should be interesting to see all of your results. I am joined, as usual, by Brett from Wolf Paranormal. Hi, Brett.
Morning. Morning.
Sam from Life After Life Productions.
Morning.
And Funky You Deb, who has her channel up and running now. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good evening, all.
And still hasn't took the dash out of a name on StreamYards, I've just noticed.
No.
No.
But if it bothers you that much, Brett, I will fix it by next week.
Okay.
Happy to oblige.
Hello, Fairy. We're just waiting for people to come in, but if we don't really get anyone in to begin with, what we will do is have a go at trying to start off the psychometry maybe with the four of us and see how we go there. Does anyone want to share anything of what they're doing or any thoughts about last night's psychic stream on Brett's channel?
I loved it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. The graphics and everything. Kudos, Brett. That was brilliant.
It's actually quite easy to do once you get used to Streamlabs. It ain't difficult. But, you know,
that was
I think
awesome.
I've sorted out the sound problem now anyway, up to a point.
Yeah.
The way you do it is you have to mute all the audios bar one because it feeds everything through the four. And it just means you'll get a very slight delay between people's mouths moving and what they say. But I'd rather that than have that horrible echo and stuff coming on.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the funny part was everybody flicked over pretty quick, so we didn't lose anything. But no, that was kudos. That animation and the work you put on that last image and the three test experiments. That was just the best I've ever seen. So
it was
well
a
done,
lot of
Brett.
fun.
I was amazed
brilliant fun.
How accurate Gillian was on that last picture. Because she literally got that picture. She described it in 3 words.
Absolutely.
Large animal and shining.
Yeah.
That was
amazing.
But like we were just saying, you know, the amount of people that, you know, got moon and maybe they were picking that up off the glowing elephant sort of thing. You know, it's amazing what people say in them things.
Yeah.
Hi, Kanga. Hello, vegan. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming in, guys. Hello. All right. I don't know whether we should begin.
If you're hearing rain, guys, it's my end. It's persisting down over here in Western Australia, and we're quite grateful that it is, because we haven't had rain in a good rain in a very long time.
It sounds lovely.
Yeah.
So for anyone who may not have seen the little video that I put up at the beginning of the week, in regard to the psychometry that we're doing tonight, any of you can take part in it if you wish to. If you have something with you that is from a loved one that has passed over, you can have a turn if you wish to perhaps hold on to the item. Maybe people in chat and on panel can try and pick up what it is. I'm not really sure how this is going to go, because usually if you're trying to work with something, it's something of someone else's that you're holding and trying to pick up on the energy or whatever of the object. But doing this from afar, trying to pick up an energy from someone else's that you can't touch, is going to be an interesting experiment. So,
normally to pick up energy off someone else's object, you've got to be relatively close. Maybe we'll bust that myth tonight. Who knows? We've got some pretty gifted people all around in your stream. So, who knows what will happen.
Yeah. Well, we've done a couple of interesting experiments so far with, you know, the mind and the psychic power of the mind, and we've had some good results. So have any of you guys tried your hand at psychometry before?
No.
Yes.
Have you, Sam?
Yeah.
You have? And how did you find it?
It actually was accidental. I go into charity shops and I pick up things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you feel different energies of different things. And I have a brass or copper, it's a brass goblet. Mm-hmm. And I thought that would go nice with my, spooky stuff or whatever. And I didn't even take a bag. I was holding it as I was walking up the street. And next thing, I started getting sort of images of India. And then I started getting these images of a man who drank a lot,
Yep.
So, I can't fully say, but maybe this was an item of that guy's house. But when I looked at the stamp, it said made in India. But I felt so sick that I almost give the goblet back. It's actually right in front of me here somewhere.
Wow.
Do you still feel any of that residual energy of, oh, wow, that's not a goblet, that's a bloody great big brandy glass.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically it's in there with all the items. I don't basically touch it because I didn't like what I felt from it. But
you getting anything now?
It would take a couple of minutes, kind of thing. But I'd rather not. I'd rather not feel what I felt when I picked this up first.
Fair enough.
But it was kind of interesting, why those pictures come into my head. It says India on the bottom. It's not a particularly old piece because it's actually lasered on. But possibly this came from some person's house, and after they passed on, some of the items were left into the charity shop. But that's what they say a lot about, the theory around haunted items. A lot of the haunted items, the theory around haunted items, is people, especially women, going into charity shops and picking up stuff and then buying it because it feels kind of odd compared to other things, and then not realizing what kind of feelings it actually is. Is it negative or positive? Of course, it can't be proved by science, but a lot of very interesting stories revolving around, especially women picking up stuff in charity shops and saying this is kind of odd, and you get a certain feeling of certain things, and they buy it because, and then people say, why did you buy that thing? And then I go, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to buy it.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was one of these items which kind of made me sort of avoid it. I put it in the cabinet, or I just leave it there. It's the first time I had it in my hand in ages, So
actually, that's probably a good thought for another stream too, Brett. Haunted items. Are they really haunted?
I was going to raise that as this went on.
Yeah.
Thank God you did pick nothing up off them agate eggs, Sam.
Off the what?
Off her agate eggs.
I know where you're going with that one.
Sam knows where I'm going with it. We've had a conversation about it.
Google yoni eggs. Anyway, moving on.
I tell you what, though, you cracked me up last night, Brad, and I did not realise until I rewatched last night's that when you were talking about the bullet in the tree and then the chap that blew it up and it hit him in the heart, I thought you said the arse. That's why I started laughing.
Actually,
went straight through his heart.
I thought, that's awesome. And I thought, wait a minute, I've got to be serious here. But I honestly thought, with your accent, you said the bullet hit him in the arse.
Yeah,
I
it
did
hit him in the
I have
heart.
to admit.
Went
Yeah.
straight through his heart.
Oh.
Thank you for that clarification. But oh my God, at the time I was laughing, man. I'm thinking, oh wait, no, I've got to be serious. Oh.
Oh.
But I honestly thought you said it hit him in the ass.
No.
Sorry,
I
Julie.
did too. That's why I'm like, hang on. How did that kill him? I was sitting there thinking.
That was my first thought. I thought, you're going to survive a shot in the butt. I mean, buttocks.
Yeah.
How did it kill him? So
Yeah,
I thought,
the bullet basically
I'm not going
hit him
anywhere near that.
The bullet basically hit him in the place it was aimed for 20 years before. That was what was not only the fact that well, it missed him during the duel, and that they always shoot for the heart in that.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And then they blew the tree up 20 years later, and he happened to be present, and the bullet flew out and hit him in the heart anyway. Like that bullet was destined to go there.
Evelyn said she thought you said ass too.
See, us Aussies, we didn't. Yeah.
He died from.
Evelyn was there. I've got a witness.
You died from too much what, Sam?
He died from too much walking around because he couldn't sit down.
Died from lead poisoning.
All right. So I don't know how we're going to do this unless you guys have a better way. But I was thinking to begin, maybe I could have my item or items with me. I have 2 of them. And maybe if anyone is picking up on anything or feeling anything, put it in chat, or you guys can let me know what you're feeling. I mean, we can keep chatting or we can kind of focus on it. What do you think would be better?
Crack on with that. Yeah, let's go. Let's jump in the deep end. Let's go.
Okay. I've never done this before, so this is new to me.
I've never done it from such a distance, so this will be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So any thoughts on the person that may be connected or people? Because I have 2 items. Anything you're picking up from them, what they're made of, what it is?
Female jewellery. That's what just popped into my head.
I just got time. It could be a watch or a clock. I don't know. I just got time.
A chain, some sort of stone, like an emerald or some sort of gemstone.
I'm getting a ring. I was thinking ring with a gemstone.
Possibly red.
And I think green.
What about
I don't know why.
Gold?
I'm thinking fob watch.
Jack says she's too focused on Zippy.
Zippy is cute.
Isn't he?
He's not cute when you watch him on the TV program. He's quite loud-mouthed and obnoxious.
Okay. Fairy says mother.
I'm getting a female relative and some type of jewellery, but I just got the sense it was a ring. But I got gemstone as well, but I think it was green.
Say hello.
That's Savia. Kanga says she's picking up mail, tool or something similar.
I'm picking up a mail, but it's been passed down, so it could have gone to his wife's. But my first response, just before I read that, was I'm sensing mail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's an immediate relative. I think it's a couple of generations back, grandmother, great grandmother.
Yeah, it goes back in time. It's not. Yeah,
that's what just popped into my head. It's not like mother or father. I'm getting generation back or even further. at least grandparent or great grandparent type thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Like some sort of a family heirloom.
I'm getting a picture.
Family.
Roses or flowers of some kind in metal.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers or roses.
I'm definitely getting the metal element. That's why I said jewellery.
I was just waiting to say exactly the same thing. Yeah, I'm definitely getting metal. It's silver or something. I don't know, but it's definitely metal. It's a metal something.
There is 2 items as well. Whether you guys pick up on a second item or not. But you let me know when you're done, and I'll let you know. I'll show you all what it is and share it with you.
If I don't say this, I might regret it, but I'm getting one of those. You know, one of them pendants with, you know, them silhouettes of
Yeah.
a lady's head. You know,
a cameo brooch.
That's them.
If I don't say that, I might regret it, but I'm just putting that out there.
Okay.
Hi, Jeff.
For some odd reason, fountain pen has just popped into my head, and I have no idea why.
Yeah, I was getting a writing implement. Isn't that funny? Either a pen.
Pen did come into my head, and then I went, no.
Dipped in ink or something. I don't know. But
it's definitely ink pen, not a biro.
Correct. Again, an old. Yeah, it's not. It's.
Or a letter.
You guys seem to be picking up whatever's in my hands. So I'm going to put one down, and I'm going to put my pen down, and I'm going to hold the other one in my hands.
No, this was older than a biro. But yeah, I was getting writing.
Yeah, it's something to do with ink. I saw an ink pen, so I don't know whether it popped in my head. So I don't know whether it's referring to the actual pen or it's referring to the ink. Because if it's referring to the ink, it could then mean an old picture. But it's definitely to do with ink. There's a connection with ink, and I don't know why. I just saw that flash then.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, that was a big one.
But there's metal. There's definitely. All I keep getting is metal. That's a big thunderclap as well. Metal and shiny, definitely. And I ain't psychic. These are just ideas that are popping in my head.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything else before I share it with you?
Kanga's put school photo. Or a photo. Jacqueline's too focused on Zippy.
Yep. Jeff said opal pendant.
Yep. Fairy said opal ring.
There's a couple of them mentioned opals.
Yeah.
But then again, Australia's famous for its opals.
It is famous for its opals. Yeah. Sam's thinking, I'm just waiting for Sam and then I'll share it with you.
No, I'm still getting a writing implement, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be a tiny little one from way back, a little pocket thingy.
Well, I'm going to summarise mine. One, I think, is jewellery, but definitely metal-based, and the other one has got some connection to ink or print or writing, something along them lines.
Yeah. Could even be a little magnifier to read, maybe, if it's writing. Maybe it's not actually the implement of writing. Maybe it's reading the writing. I don't know. It's I don't know.
Getting a photo frame, a silver photo frame with flowers engraved in it, in kind of a black, but sort of carved into it, sort of thing. Some sort of photo frame. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I will share with you guys what I have. So the first item it's a blanket. But this blanket was made by my grandmother, Brett, before she passed away for my first child.
Yeah, that was definitely. Well, that was what I kept thinking. It was more than one generation back.
Grandparent, exactly. Yeah. She was very, very, very dear to me, and I had a photograph of her, which I tried to find, and I've put it away somewhere safe, and I couldn't find it. So a lot of you were picking up on a photo as well. So there's the photo, the blanket. The other item, which is going to blow you away, is a ring that belonged to my mother. It has a blue stone in it.
Whoa!
And it is gold.
Yeah.
It has a heart on it, and then it's got her initials from when she was married to my dad. But how is that?
Yeah.
Well, ironic.
That was good.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I was seeing an emerald, not a sapphire.
Yeah, but still,
I was seeing green rather than blue, but it was definitely shiny metal in a ring.
A ring with
and
a
lot of the chat got that. A ring.
Yeah, but you guys were picking up on metal too, and Sam said gemstone.
Yeah, and I said ring.
You said ring with gemstone. So that kind of blew me away. I couldn't hold my smirk back when I heard that.
The only point I can claim from that one was that I said it was metal, and it goes back in time.
Yep,
that was it.
Yep.
Do you know, when I think about the pendant with this silhouette in it, maybe she had one of those items with that as well, you know, with other jewellery and stuff. Because I was seeing other jewellery in a little box.
Yeah. You could have been picking up on my grandmother's belongings, because I know that my father has some, and they were split up between other people in the family as well, and some of them are really old. So it could be something, and like my dad has my grandmother's watch, and Deb said watch. So it's kind of like little bits and pieces that you guys were saying. You're picking up on things that are connected to her. Exactly.
I got time. That was really strong. Like, you know, watch or But anyway. Well, congratulations. There were many people that got that. Well,
Okay, I'll go next. And funnily enough, I've been concentrating on mine all the while we were doing that, and Sam freaked me out at one point, and that's all I'm going to say. But it's not what I told you it was, Julie. So away you go.
All right, so I'm thinking if Sam was close, it's probably going along the lines of the silver photo frame with the flowers. Maybe that's what you're picking up on, Sam.
I'm thinking the flowers is right. Don't know about the photo frame, but possibly chain. But I think roses and flowers is right. But the thing is, are we now guessing what I came out with to try and fit it together? But or are we thinking about a picture?
When you said flowers, I got the image of like an album with pressed flowers. But I may just be following your train of thought. I haven't really focused in on this, but yeah, when you were talking about flowers just then, I just got an image of somebody that, you know how they used to put them in albums and press them big.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
Pressed flowers.
I'm getting male and blue.
Getting anything yet? I'm just trying to clear the last one and.
I'm getting a male, Brett, and the colour
Right.
blue.
Mm-hmm.
Cross.
I'm going to regret it if I don't say it like Sam. I'm getting red.
Okay.
Cross.
I can't focus in enough at the moment.
Maybe a cross.
On the road, he's saying still thinks it's a pendant. Little Jazz is saying pocket watch.
I saw a cross.
Yeah, it could be something on a chain.
Interesting, the pocket watch came up, but
yeah, but I got that from the last one, like a fob watch, and
Dad got that.
You know, something that you'd that open like a fob watch, or could have been a woman's one where you wore it as a brooch or on a long chain, and you had a smaller shaped one than a male. I know nurses always had them like that. That's probably why I'm going that way. But
let's say wires are getting crossed here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to, but
all will be revealed at the end.
It will. Kanga is getting diamonds.
Somehow I can get going back to the picture, photo.
Let me know when you've all finished.
Morning, Seago.
Morning, Seago.
Mark the Net says cameo. Jeff, a pendant. Do you have it in your hand?
That's a bit personal question.
No, not that.
No, seriously, do you?
No, I don't.
Can you hold the item?
Okay, I'm holding the item.
Oh, that'd be better.
Zippo lighter?
Yeah, I'm getting metal, but it's something you wear. I can't.
Somebody said no. Was that you, Julie?
Yeah, I'm mumbling to myself.
Oh,
I'm just thinking the mail. I'm still getting the mail.
That scared me.
Wood.
Yeah, I agree with Julie. I think it's male. New, not old like the last stuff, in a way.
So I could be way off, but I'm going to go with those four things: cross, male, wood, and blue. I'm going to kind of stick with what I said, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember she said that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get. All right, I'm going to go with. I picked up red initially. Metal.
Yeah.
Something you wear, and it's new. It's not old. I mean, for new, take that for what you think. But it's not. I don't believe it's an old whatever it is. It's could be 50.
Morning, Tara.
Are you ready then now?
Yeah, carry on.
Right. Well, a couple of you got a couple of close things. It's not old. It is actually. This was bought for me by a friend of mine a few months before she was diagnosed with cancer, and sadly she passed away just over a week later.
Aww.
It is actually, believe it or not, and you won't see it. You won't see it on here, but that is basic. That is actually a 3D picture. That looks like it's got depth to it, and if you look as you turn it, the wolf's head actually follows you at the same time as well.
And it's a
That
silver
is
frame,
awesome.
like Sam said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you look at that picture, it is actually 3D. It looks like you can reach into it. The wolf's head's actually coming out the photo. The frame
Yeah.
is silver, and it is patterned with tiny little flowery type things all the way around
Sam.
it.
That's what I, yeah.
Yeah.
And it is
Girl.
it is fairly new, but you can't see it on. Obviously, you can't see it on there, but it is actually 3D. It looks like you can reach into it and stroke it. And like I say, you can see it as it turns. Look.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it did then. Yeah.
Can you see? It actually turns to face you as well.
Yeah.
Regardless of what angle you look at it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is wicked.
Yeah, it's an amazing. I've never seen one like it before.
That's beautiful.
But I always have it on the table beside of me. But it is actually 3D as well. It looks like it's got proper depth to it.
Wow.
It looks like it actually looks like the wolf is inside the frame.
Yeah.
It's a proper 3D projection. It's holographic, is I suppose the best way of describing it. But it is silver, Sam, and it has got little pattern, flowery pattern all the way around it.
Is the frame
And it
wood?
is also made of wood.
Oh,
I got one.
you got one.
Mm-hmm.
I got one.
Yeah, she bought
Sam
that.
nailed it.
But it was a woman. She bought that for me about 2 months before she got diagnosed, and she literally passed away a week after her diagnosis.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah, she went quick, luckily.
Yeah. All right, who's going to go next? Who wants to go next?
Oh well.
Okay. Deb.
I am.
This is going to be interesting.
I am in touch with item number 1
Okay.
at this moment.
Yep.
And I'll now touch item number 2.
Okay.
Feather.
Well, the only thing that popped into my head was a figurine, like a Greek, like the Greek type lady in white plaster alabaster type thing. That was the only thing that popped into my head straight away.
Yeah, and I did pick up on porcelain.
Yeah.
Just like a porcelain item or some kind.
But I got like a Greek style figurine, with a woman with the hair up and the flowing robes. But I definitely got, almost like it was alabaster, that type of white creamy colour to it. That was what I got.
I got the colour green.
And the other thing I got was wood, for some strange reason.
Wooden beads on cloth.
See, I'm probably totally off with that one because that's all I'm getting. Nothing else. All I got was a Greek figurine, almost like a goddess type thing. It was that type of image, like a Greek goddess in alabaster. So I don't know, Deb. And the only other thing, the very first thing that popped into my head just before the figurine was wood, almost like a plinth, a wooden plinth type thing. Definitely some either tubular or circular, spherical. There's a lot of curves.
Don't ask me why, but I saw a jade elephant. Crystal, jade elephant.
I've actually got one inside. A little tiny one.
A little jade elephant. Oh, green. Oh, don't ask me why.
You channel too far back from my house.
Stay out of the inside.
Yeah. Oh, no, not. You can come and go on the inside as often as you like. You know that. It's an open door. I'll send you the key. But, no, come a little bit forward.
Kaya, are you doing your foot or the cushion? It's all right. I could see her doing somewhere in the background. I couldn't work out whether she was sucking the cushion or cleaning her foot. Yeah, that's all I'm getting. I'm getting like this Greek goddess alabaster image, and then I'm getting something in wood that's curved, or it's either cylindrical, spherical, or something around them lines. But there's curves to it. There's a lot of curves.
Coloured glass vase of some kind. A blue glass.
That was funny because when you were talking about blue glass, then what popped into my head was like a lens, a glass lens. Don't know why I thought of that. Almost like a disc.
Let me all know when you're ready.
Statue. Yeah, that's all I'm getting, Deb. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
Julie hasn't said anything.
Yeah, no. I think I'm way off because I'm picking up very little. There's very little popping in my head.
Yeah, the only other things that I was seeing was the key ring that Deb had showed us previously, and I don't know whether that was alluding to the eye or the gold of it, and a picture, just a square bit of paper. That's it. Yeah.
Well, so far the two closest to the second object that I'm holding, that I'm attached to at the moment, is Julian bread. But definitely not all of it. But you have touched on. Shall I reveal?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can reveal.
Okay. First object is something that I got 18 years ago as an anniversary present. It was a very expensive gold chain that I never take off.
I was going to say, yes.
And the second item belonged to Janet's late husband, who committed suicide 23 years ago. And because I do orienteering and I'm interested in these sorts of things, it's his compass. So it is round.
This?
So that's Jeff's.
This?
Yeah, so that's Jeff's compass. Janet gave it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's made of brass. I didn't think but when you said earlier when we started this, if anyone's got an object from somebody that's passed, I had something that would not have connected to me directly. It came indirectly from somebody who had passed.
Yeah.
So I thought, Jeff's compass, it'll be interesting if somebody picks that up.
That's very interesting that you came up with that, actually, because you're about to be blown away.
I actually did think, when I saw the disc, I actually did think a compass, and I don't say it. I wish I had it done now.
Sam's looking awful serious. What, hun? What?
Do you know?
She picked up a compass as well, didn't you?
I'm not going. No, I didn't. But it's just interesting.
Explain it the best you can. Take your time. You explain it the best way you can.
I can't until I do my item, actually.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, well, they were my two.
Oh, it's a map.
Do you know map just popped right into my head then, Julie?
Yeah, map.
I was thinking of GPS. I was thinking of GPS Garmin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maps and travel and coordinates and latitudes and maybe I was hanging on to that too long.
Whoever said fob watch earlier got very close with her.
Yeah, I think that was
Jazz. I said fob watch earlier. Yeah, Jazz and I were the ones that picked,
and Deb.
Yeah.
We picked up fob watch.
Because that compass could easily be mistaken as a pocket watch. Easily.
Yeah.
That's true. I hadn't considered that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can tell the position of the sun to reason what time it is.
I'm sticking with map. I have to go with map.
Right, we're doing Sam's now.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
the first thing that came into my head was map.
I need to. What I need to say before anything, right?
Mhm.
I grab my items. I'm not going to move from this spot. The
Okay.
items are in front of me. They're in my hand.
Yep.
Right.
I'm not going to move from this spot.
Mhm.
One item is from somebody, a friend who passed away. The other one is from somebody that I don't know, but I was given the story about.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Two items.
All right.
No wonder you said it was interesting that I chose the compass.
That's weird. One I'm getting is paper like a map. The other one I'm getting is religion. And I think it'd be something like, and I know you're Irish, Sam, and this might sound really obvious, but something like a rosary bead set, something like that. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I just got an image of that with a cross,
You know,
silver cross.
Yeah,
hanging
with
off
the
the
cross.
end.
you know the rosary beads where they got all the balls and then the cross on the bottom.
Yeah.
I just got an image of that.
That's what I'm getting is a rosary beads, a set of rosary beads.
Same. It's black, but it's got a silver linkage.
Yeah. See, I said cross earlier.
Mhm.
That might have been what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one was specific. It was like it was in someone's hand and they
Yeah,
were praying.
I ain't viewing it
And
as
I
a
saw
necklace. It was religion. It's religious.
No,
It's religious. Religious jewelry, and the only religious jewelry I know is rosary beads. That's the only thing I can think. And it's definitely beads and a cross.
Yeah,
and I'm getting dark colours, either black or very dark
Yeah,
brown.
I was going to say black. Yeah.
black with silver links, and you can see the cross hanging off it.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really quick. As soon as you said religious item,
it's unlike me to think of anything religious because you know my thoughts on religion. But that's what popped into my head was rosary beads.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's because I'm linking to the fact that Sam's Irish and my dad's side of the family are all Catholic. So my granddad had rosary beads, and he was the first person I thought of when I started thinking of it. And then I always connect him to religious paraphernalia, my granddad, because he got the Virgin Mary all over the house, and he'd always got his rosary beads hung up on this like picture of the Virgin Mary. But it was the rosary beads on the picture that I kept seeing. So I'm going with a dark rosary beads.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I can go.
Me too.
Kanga came up with war medal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
I'm better off not. I'm better off not saying anything because then I'm staring at the thing. They've already been revealed, right? All you have to do is sort of figure out what you've picked up over the last 20 minutes because there's wires being crossed here, big time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably because everybody's been thinking of their own items while they've been guessing everybody else's. That's probably why. So, if this works, everybody's probably been projecting their items at the same time. And that's why you're picking up on everything.
Possibly. But yeah, time.
Maybe it's the fog watch.
It goes back in time. This one's old. It's not new.
What?
It's not new.
A nurse's watch that you pin on your jacket.
And I know your history.
No, I kept saying pinning something. So Kanga could be spot on. Yeah, a medal on Anzac Day. Because I kept this.
I know some of your history, Sam, but I think this is something that Erin gave you. It's something off Erin. And because you've told me in the past that Erin gave you a lot of stuff. And I actually think it's her rosary beads. It was something that was really important to her. That's what I think it is.
Oh, God.
And that's how important it was. It was vital to her that you got them rosary beads. I'm convinced that's what it is. Honestly, I'm convinced. It's definitely it's religious, and a religion was important to her, and that was why she wanted you to have them, and that's why I think it's rosary beads. It's definitely necklace with a cross on, so and being Irish, I'd associate that not just as a crucifix, as an actual rosary bead set.
My father has a set of rosary beads from our O'Brien side, our Irish side, that's been passed down through multiple generations. So I know how important they are, to the Catholics. Yeah.
Yeah, I still stick with one of the items, like Brett, is the rosary. And it is an heirloom as such. But, yeah. As soon as I saw water metal, because I've been going like this all night, and time again, keeps coming up. Something they pin on or wear, could have been a medal.
A rose brooch, a red rose brooch.
But the other thing I'm getting on the other item, if there's two, is some kind of container. It's something for holding something.
Yeah, Seago said that, a cylindrical container.
Yeah, I'm getting the impression it's like something for holding something.
Ashes? Someone's ashes?
A map in a container.
As a buried treasure.
Oh.
Oh.
Like in the old days, they carry their map in a thing they carry.
Yeah.
Like an explorer. No, not Dora.
What's this? Dora the Explorer.
That's going to be my two guesses. I think the first one is Erin's rosary beads, or a crucifix of Erin's. It's definitely a necklace with a cross on it. It's something, that's the image I'm getting. And the other one is some kind of container for holding something. That's my guesses.
Yeah, I'm getting something metal, possibly.
Holy water.
No, ashes.
No.
What do you call them?
An
urn.
Urn.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm probably
are we all done?
Too many.
Yeah.
Are we all?
Yep.
Yeah. So a rosary and an urn for me.
Right. I have to get the box to just prove something. Oh, the box is under here, actually. Right. The first item is, way back in sort of World War II, and when the soldiers had some downtime, what they would do is they would pick up mortar shells and bits and pieces and make art from them. And this soldier got a piece of a mortar shell, and it's cracked all along the sides here.
Is that a clock?
It is a clock.
It sure is. I've been saying time all night. And
it's like a little alarm clock.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little wind-up clock, and it's rammed into this kind of mortar shell, and it doesn't actually fit. So it's actually cracked. It's very crudely put together, but that's a piece of war art, actually, where the soldiers would have some downtime and they would make weird and wonderful things from bits and pieces lying around. Don't actually know anything about the soldier, but that's the history of that little clock.
Wow.
Kanga was along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but watch, pocket watch, it's a small clock, and the second item. Now you see me getting emotional here, and there's no way that we would. There's no way I would allow cheating along these lines.
No way.
You're an ethical woman.
The second item is Aaron's rosary beads. The last piece of what she gave me, and the cross is worn away because she constantly used to rub this cross. I don't know if you can actually see the wear on the cross.
Mm-hmm.
She used to have these around her neck, and she used to rub it like this. And this is the box. This is the box I hold it in.
I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. God, you're making all of us cry.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of the information, there was wood, there was cross that you had said earlier on.
Yep.
That's why I said it's already been revealed, you know?
Yep.
The pocket watch, that sort of came in. Now, whether they were guesses or there was just wires crossed in what we were picking up, it was very, very interesting, you know?
Yeah.
But this is...
I just kept getting time and something
Yeah, this is the box I hold it in, and I put it in this cloth so it doesn't get scratched. But if the house ever went on fire, this is in the hallway.
Is that metal?
Yeah,
it's wood with embroidered with metal.
Oh, wood.
Yeah. If the house ever went on fire, this is in the hallway. I'll grab this on the way out.
Yeah.
Above anything else, you know.
Yeah.
Understood.
But that was interesting.
Brett was bang on. Two out of 3. Bang on.
He won Psychic of the Night tonight.
Oh my God.
I think there was a combination of an effort there. There was information coming from, a few different people.
People were saying wood. A few of them picked up on wood.
Yeah, and Tara was saying the rectangle shape, I think. Digo was saying the kind of, well, he's saying cylindrical, but he was saying container still. Kang's got the wall.
Cylinder. It was some sort of a mortar shell, a small mortar. It's like a large bullet. I don't know much about ammunition.
When you first held that up, that facial piece, that was what I was seeing in my mind. That's why I kept saying clock, time. It's time. You wind it, you do something with it. I was constantly like this, so it would be small enough that they could have held it in their jacket pocket, or so that wherever they were, it came with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow. And it went back in time. That's all I got. But the time thing, I've been getting that one was strong all night long.
Good job, Brett.
Well done, Psychic of the Night.
Don't feel bad. I had tears in my eyes too. I almost
dry throat now. I'm holding that one back. Big hugs,
Bang
Sam.
on. Holy cow. Big love. Big love to you. I know that was tough. Perfect way to remember her. Perfect.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to do your tests? Cheer things up a bit.
Absolutely. Let's get into that. All right. So let's do something a little bit different. Canberra. Yeah, the War Memorial. Okay. So I have a couple of visualization tests here. And based on what your results are, it'll tell you a little bit about your personality and how you look at things. I thought it was interesting. I want to give a shout out to my sister who put me onto these. So the first personality test is on andrews.edu, and it is as follows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read these out and give you a couple of questions. I want you to visualize in your mind what you're seeing, and you can jot them down in the chat, and then I will give you the results of what it kind of means afterward. All right. Anyone who has pen and paper can use it.
This should be fun.
This will be fun.
in many ways, we've all been picking up, as Sam pointed out, we've all been picking up these items just in different ways.
Yeah.
People have been saying wood and, and metal, and who would have, yeah. But as soon as I think it was Kanga, correct me if I'm wrong, that said war metal, that's when I sort of went, oh, wait, yes, that time frame.
I was going to pick up the war medal, but I didn't know any of the history of it. So I says I would pick up something that had the history. The war medal's right beside me, sort of thing, yeah.
And the cylindrical Seago was very close with that in regarding to the case. So, yeah, we've got some people with some talent in the room. And I'm not referring to us, by the way.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
Let's crack on.
The first one. Imagine yourself in a forest or a jungle environment. So visualize yourself. Look at your surroundings. What do you see around you? The first question. What's the first animal you see?
I don't know why I saw a tiger. I'd have thought with me it would have been a wolf, but the first thing I thought of was tiger.
I'll write mine in there too, because I haven't seen the results. I don't know what they are. Okay, we've got lots.
So you go saw Sam running up a tree.
A squirrel.
A squirrel.
Yeah.
Another person. It's an animal, Kanga.
I got a monkey.
A monkey.
Small bird.
Okay, has everybody got their answers in? Okay, second question. What is the second animal you see?
That is weird. Why I'd see a peacock in a forest, I do not know. But that was literally what just popped in my head.
Okay.
I saw a bird and just colour. So when you said peacock, I'm thinking, yeah, bird.
Rabbit.
Lots of colour.
A rat.
Rabbit.
Oh, is it rat?
I might put stars in amongst them too, like you did, and then we can kind of go back and analyse them. Blackbird. Fawn, baby deer.
Oh, you could tell Seagull likes Disney. So far, he's seen squirrels and baby deers.
Bambi. All right, I think we have everyone. Okay. Imagine now, after walking a little further down, that there is a hut in front of you. A hut.
Okay.
Do you, A, bypass the hut? Do you, B, knock before going in? Or do you, C, ruck in?
What?
So just walk in.
Oh, right.
Just let yourself in, yeah.
See, but that would depend on whether it looked deserted or not. I'm going to go B.
Yeah.
Because in case somebody lived there, if it looked deserted, I'd just walk in.
Yeah, I was the same. If it looked deserted, I'd just
knock.
walk in, but
I'd knock.
I'd knock or call out.
Yeah.
Seago, if you see a gingerbread hut, then that's fine. That's what you see. That's what's good about the visualization exercises.
I actually saw a little African mud hut with a circular thing with the
Oh,
straw.
did you?
Yeah,
I saw a little log cabin.
with a little like native person sitting outside it. That's what I visualized.
Oh,
Mine was all made out of wood, but it was round with like a reeds or something as the
I ain't
roof.
getting eaten by witches. I'll walk right by. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a few people that just walk past.
Yeah, I
walk straight in.
Yeah, I visualized.
I'd be too damn curious.
Yeah, I visualized that there was a lot of overgrowth on it and it was abandoned and stuff, so I went in.
Okay.
Yep. Very good. All right. So the next part. Now, imagine yourself inside of the hut, which is weird because I just told people to bypass it. So the first question is, inside of the hut, there are 20 candles in the hut. How many will light up?
How many will light up or are lit up?
How many will you light up? There are 20 candles. How many will you light?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
I'm wasteful. I'd light them all, even if it weren't needed.
I got a thing with numbers.
I wrote one because I thought it was a small hut.
Yep.
Well, actually, Sam, I visualised going in and there was a big fire pit in the middle. You know, a big fire, so you wouldn't need candles.
Same.
If there was candles, it'd be all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where the candles were. Probably around, but yeah, I imagine some sort of a rock or fire pit for cooking or just heating. Could be ceremonial, so I'd light them all.
Yeah.
Out of respect.
Welcome, Daft. Okay. What is the shape of the table that you see in this hut? Is it square or is it a circle?
Round.
Round.
Dutch round.
Square.
Yeah, mine's.
Tara says, me too, Brett. Tara's wasteful as well.
Kanga said her hut's on fire now from all the candles that got alight.
You watch, they'll all come back from hunting and you'll be for dinner. For burning down their house.
God damn it.
Into the heart of darkness.
Into the pits of hell you go.
Yes.
All right. I think that's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
How many chairs are at the table?
None.
2.
I got my ass popped for wasting by my nan. Yeah, my nan was like that as well.
Around the table, is that correct?
Yeah. How many chairs are? Yeah.
None.
All right.
Are we supposed to type? Are we supposed to type in the chat?
Well, it would help.
Oh, you can write it down. Yeah, you can write it down if you want on your paper. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't comment on this. I'd have to go into YouTube.
That's okay.
We'll remember what you say anyway if you write it down.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So how many, Sam?
So the next one.
2.
2. Yep. There's a jug on the table. What is it made of? What is the jug made of?
Clay.
Porcelain.
Oh, somebody's posh.
Oh well,
you can tell Sam's a hoarder. It's got to be porcelain.
Art Deco.
Deco. Well, another country overtaken by invaders.
I went glass. It doesn't absorb smells.
See, I'm seeing everything really rustic in this hut.
Yeah, me too. It's got a nice handle and.
All right. Everyone got theirs down?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one.
Yeah, but it's posh clay fairy. Porcelain.
Okay. How much water is in the jug? Is there A, no water, B, it's half full, C, it's 3/4 full, or D, it's totally full?
None. It's empty. See, I've got a pessimistic outlook on life.
I'm thinking the water would have evaporated out of it,
Yeah.
so I've gone none as well.
Yeah, we're pessimistic, Sam.
I put
Is the glass half full or half empty, or is it just empty?
Yeah. Okay, I think everyone's got that. Okay, now imagine that you're out of the hut and you're walking along. You reach a beautiful waterfall. How fast is the speed of the waterfall? From 1 to 10, or from 1 to 9, 1 is being the slowest and 9 is being the fastest.
9, it's a torrent, like Niagara. No, it is. That's what I saw. Niagara Fall type wolf coming down. You can't have 10 terrorists up to 9. Or
Yeah,
I'd have put
10. 1.
1. I put 1. Because
Nice
when you started explaining that, I was actually picturing a little stream, but it was a kind of like a little, not much of a waterfall, more of a sort of a little.
I was thinking more of like a tropical waterfall in a forest, but it was, you know, loads of water. So 9.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't pounding, but it wasn't slow either, so I put 7.
Oh, you're filthy. Okay. How many swans? How many swans are there near the waterfall?
2. They mate for life.
Yeah, they do.
2 straight away as well.
Yep.
None.
It's a rainforest. Why are there swans in the rainforest?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I thought, go with the question. I was going to put none because the swans wouldn't be there. And I thought, no, go with the question, Debbie. Just
go with it.
As soon as I thought that, I thought, well, they mate for life. And then Brett, So that was my process there. That's why I put 2. They have to be there because it's part of the, the Zen moment.
I said 2 because wherever you see 1, there's always another. There's always the mate. That's why I said 2.
Well, my original image was a stream, not much more than somebody having a pee on top of a head.
with 2 swans squatting over it.
Brett's swans are getting washed down the river 100 miles an hour.
He's falling into a pool. He's falling into a pool. He's coming off a big rock face.
Where's his toilet sound now with the plop? So you've got the waterfall. Someone peeing over the edge.
That's the swans falling over the waterfall. Plop.
And the plop is the swans going, ooh, Yellow River.
Now you've reached the riverbank and your destination is just opposite.
What riverbank?
The riverbank of the river where the waterfall is. You've reached the riverbank. Your destination is opposite. How do you get there? How do you go over the river?
Raft. I'll swim.
Bloody swim. I'd strip off and swim.
I can't swim, so to be raft.
Well, you could walk around. I mean, it's depending on how it, it's a lagoon of some description.
I'd use the swans as stepping stones.
You've got to put that in there.
No, I'd use a raft.
Yeah.
Or
What is it?
Yeah, sit on a swan's back. Flap.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Tara, bamboo raft.
order a taxi.
Order a taxi.
It doesn't have to be even deep. You're on the bank. It could be the shallow end. Just walk around and take your boots off. But I'd go for a swim. I want to freshen up and cool off.
I would like everyone swimming over.
I would fall in tree.
Well, the first thing that passed my head was there's probably crocodiles in there, so I'm going on a raft. That was the very first thought that went through my head.
Yeah, well, it says actually, I made a boo-boo. I was meant to read out two choices. Jump into the river and swim, or find another way to cross it. So a lot of you have found another way to cross it.
Yeah, another way to cross, definitely.
Yeah.
I would not be getting in any water. I didn't know what was in there. No way.
Here I am just walking across.
Oh,
No.
that's half the adventure.
All right. Put the stars in. Okay. What are the first words that you will say as soon as you get to the other side?
I don't know that I'd be saying anything. I'd be...
Yes, losing it.
I can't swim.
I said what I usually say if I got wet, F-U-C-K.
That's what Brett said. Frank, F, I didn't fall in the ground.
That would be the first thing through my head. Thank God I got across because I can't swim.
All right. Has everyone got theirs?
Yeah.
Finally, give 3 words to describe the sky.
Can I think of 2?
I've ready to PISS.
Ready to piss down.
Put clear, blue, and beautiful.
I've put blue, clear, and birds.
Yeah, there's wildlife everywhere. It's a noisy cacophony of sounds.
All right, last one. Give 3 words to describe the sea.
The what?
Right? Yeah,
the sea. Where does the sea come into?
I don't know. Maybe it appeared on the other side, but they're asking, describe the sea.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea. You're going all out, aren't you, Brett?
No, but that's the best way I can think of describing it. You know, it's crashing over rocks and shit.
Yeah. Ooh, Kanga says rough, turquoise, and boiling.
You know, one we're in the middle of a forest, and then next we're on the coast.
We're on the ocean. You're like, oh, I just got through this beautiful waterfall and now this rough ocean in front of me.
Yeah, I'll see, rolling over rocks.
Noise
cool. The oceans can be calm. Cool, vast, and food. I can go fishing or something. Get some fish.
Eat some fish as well.
Okay, I'll see if I can go back.
Oh, I love seafood.
Yes, I can. Okay. So if everybody's got their answers, we're going to go. Got their answers down. We will run through them.
Can we go back far or not?
Yeah, I can see it here. All right. So the meanings to the personality test. So question 1, which was, what is the first animal you see, is the reflection of your life, the animal.
I saw a monkey. What does that tell me?
Well, I saw a tiger. I saw a tiger. What does that mean?
It just says the reflection of your life. Well, I've got a lion, which is like rawr, angry and.
So does that mean we're predatory, Julie? That means we're apex predators.
Gives a poofling, a monkey.
What did you say, Sam?
Have fun. Well, monkeys have fun.
Cheetah. Tell boy, come home.
What was your
animal, Sam?
Tiger.
Small bird.
Small bird.
Like a robin.
You want to be a skinny model?
Maybe you just want the freedom and not being weighted down by anything,
Yeah.
All right. Seago says I'm cute and fluffy. I'll take it. I love it. All right. So the second one, the second animal, is the character of your life partner. Oh, redhead peacock.
That is totally wrong for Jason because he's anything but flamboyant. He's shy and retiring. He's the exact opposite of a peacock.
No, it suits Janet down to the ground. I had a colourful bird, like a peacock.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I had an owl, but I'm single, so maybe the owl's me.
1-800 Chicky Babe.
Rabbit.
Oh, I'm not touching that.
Sam's life partner's going to need a lot of batteries.
Yeah. Oh, God.
There were some people that saw like.
It's a great
Tara's life
multiplier.
partner's a snake and Fairy's is a lizard.
Yeah, there was a few that had snake. Actually, Seago had baby deer. So that's kind of like, it's a cute little. All right. Okay, the next one is the hut. Do you bypass it, knock, or rush in? So does everyone remember what their answer was?
Mine was
knock or call out.
Okay. Yeah. So if you said bypass, it means you're not ready for a relationship. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Well, I dread to think what this is going to be because Sam's rabbit partner, and now she's going to barge into this hut.
Yeah, but breed like rabbits.
Wait for it because it's classic for Sam. Wait for it. Okay, be knocked before going in, which was me and a couple of you guys.
Me.
Yeah.
You're ready for a relationship.
Well, I'm in a relationship, so there you go.
I've been married for 18 years.
Now, Sam said she just walked. Sam was adamant she would walk in.
And a couple of others said this. You ready? Rushing in means you're desperate.
I'll go with that.
Oh God! I'm glad I'm not.
Easy.
That's spot on, actually.
Oh God!
Oh, I love it.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Explains the rabbit.
Well, yes. Oh,
everyone's
God.
laughing. All right.
Oh, that's good.
So the next one, so this
The
one
candles.
is to do with the quest. Yeah, the candles. How many do you light up? The question means your generosity. The more you light up, the more generous you are.
I'll
put
see.
3.
I'll lit all of them. Yeah.
I thought I
Me
was
too.
quite generous.
Yep.
God,
What
Provide
did you
for the
put,
tribe.
Sam?
1.
Oh God! You're sitting there alone, your little rabbit hut, waiting for a dinner partner. Oh my God, that's just too fucking sad. I mean, that's just
Did anybody say none of them?
Did anyone not
actually
light up
a
any
few
candles?
did. I think. I know
Did
somebody
half?
said it.
Okay, I don't know. Hang on, let me go down.
No, I can't see anybody put 0.
3, all of them.
Yes,
all
Seago.
of
Mine was sod
No,
that
Seago put
for
10.
a lark.
Seago put
Did he?
half. Most
Seago
people
put
put
10,
all
yeah.
of them. Yeah. A couple of people put 7.
See,
Okay.
I thought that was going to be a question on how wasteful you were.
No, you did good there. Okay, so the next one is whether you picked a square or a circle table. So if you picked a square table, it means you're stubborn.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
I'm a tall.
Did you pick square, Sam?
I'm doing well, aren't I?
Well, explains that poor rabbit
Oh, my glasses are fogging.
with
Um,
yeah.
A
I'll pick
circle
round.
table. Circle table means you're flexible.
Okay. I'll
round.
accept that one.
Yeah. Oh,
That was a good
I
one.
can swing both ways. Yeah.
Okay. Most people picked round on that too.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
did.
only a couple of people picked square.
It's the next one I'm dreading because I was the only one who picked none on the next answer.
Okay. Oh, this is the order one, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, the chairs.
This actually shows your hospitality. The more, the better. So you're not hospitable at all, Brad.
Is this for the chairs?
Shock. Oh no! Shock.
This is the chairs. Oh yeah, it is the chairs. Yes.
Yeah.
Brett is the one with the bullet in the ass, but he can't sit down, so he's got no chairs.
Yes. Deb and Fairy actually put 6. They've got the most chairs.
Good on us, Fairy.
Good job. All right.
No, the jug, innit?
What's the next one?
The jug.
Oh,
The
what
jug.
the jug is made of. That's right. So the
I said
next
clay.
one, it depends on what you say. This refers to the material of your heart.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Mine was glass. I have a glass heart.
Sam said porcelain. Sam got the posh one.
Yeah.
Sam has a posh heart. I don't know what that means, though.
Explains-
Clay, wood.
I had clay.
I said clay.
Mine's glass. Mine's
Earthy.
easily broken.
We're earthy.
You're earthy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're down to earth, probably. Like
Seago said blue tinted glass.
Feel.
He did too.
He did. He did.
If your heart's blue, I'd go and check you're still breathing.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay, so the next one is how much water you have.
Oh, God, I answered none to this as well.
If I keep drinking that tea, it's going to be full.
Oh, Brett, you best drink up.
Go on.
So this refers to the amount of love that you will give to your partner.
Poor Jace. Oh. Poor
Jace
Jace.
is empty and dusty too.
Next.
Actually,
Mine was full.
All right.
Mine was full.
Yours was full. Okay, this one you might like.
Waterfall next.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the speed of the waterfall
I'll put 9.
refers to your sex drive.
Oh, shit.
It's got some piddly little...
Oh,
Dribble! You just got to dribble.
Dribble.
Brett's like a torrent.
Yeah, but Tara put 10 and I think Seago put 11.
Yeah, he did.
Who's the rabbit? Oh, God. That's hilarious.
Yeah, very poor Mr. Stash.
5. Yeah, you're kind of midway. You're like, yeah. All right. Next one.
Swans next.
The number of swans refers to the number of best friends you have. I put none.
What did you put, Sam?
2.
I put 2.
2.
See, you're all choosing each other. You're leaving me out.
You chose 0, babe. Nobody even forced your hand on that one.
I think that's hilarious. Oh, okay.
That's bloody insulting. What are we? Chopped liver?
I
Talk.
friends. Okay.
The raft
What's
next.
that? Prodigy.
Okay,
shot?
the raft.
Crossing the river.
If you swam or jumped in and swam or waded or whatever, it means that you act without thinking.
Right.
Oh,
what did you put, Sam?
That was me.
Find another way to cross.
Yeah, and me.
Okay, so if you found another way to cross, it means that you think before you act.
There you go, Sam. We're sensible.
I'm not
It's
touching
official,
that
Sam.
rabbit still. That rabbit is going awfully slow and looking good for dinner.
That's funny. Oh my God. Okay. No comment.
Yeah.
Okay, the first words you say when you cross the other side. This refers to the first words you will say on your wedding night.
Thank fuck I didn't fall in.
I put my camp.
I put thank if I didn't fall in and drown.
Tara put I didn't die.
I didn't die. Kate just said I want to drink. Seago says suck it,
Put
alligators.
suck it, alligators.
Oh
Oh,
my
you
God.
guys are funny.
Oh,
What did you put, Sam?
there's no way I'm telling Janet.
Well, you're not wrong. All right. Okay, so the 3 words of what was it? The stream, I think.
The sky.
Yes.
The
Oh,
sky.
the lagoon
sorry.
or-
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
3 words of the sky describe your point of view on love.
Blue clear with birds. That's all right.
Clear blue with birds. Wow.
Clear, blue, and beautiful. Oh, I'm definitely the romantic in the two of us.
Seagull put overcast grey with bits of blue.
One was cloudy and blue. So
yeah, one was cloudy and dark and almost like a thunderstorm or something.
Oh, here we go.
Ready to piss.
Are you ready for the last one, Brett? Do you remember what you put? Okay.
I put wild, rampant, and turbulent.
The last three words.
Yeah.
Describe the sounds of your love making.
What did you put, Sam?
Noise, rhythm, and blue.
Oh, what else did they put? Hang on, I'm going back. Kanga likes it rough and boiling hot.
Tara's put seafood is amazing. Likes fish.
Eat some fish. If you're into that.
Waves bashing off the rocks. That would be funny.
Bashing off. Who had the bashing off the rocks? Fairly calm.
Somebody did.
Seago said fairly calm. A large beach and it's light blue. Oh. Okay, that's funny.
Oh, God, that's giving me a sore throat. We're laughing.
I got my headache back. I think it's worth it.
Are we going to do the other one?
We can do the other one. I don't think it's quite as funny as that one. It's more serious. We can definitely do it, though. That was hilarious. Okay. So the next one, it's called the Cube Personality Test. You can find it on, you can find it on alcation.com.
Okay.
All right. So, first question. Try to be as honest as you can.
Okay.
Think of an open field.
Mm-hmm.
How big is the field? What is it filled with? And what are the surroundings like? So how big is the field? What is it filled with? And what are the surroundings like?
There you go. Kangaroos. What you put, Sam?
1 acre full of cows surrounded by mountains.
Well, that's going to be relevant for something.
Yes, I can imagine so. Especially with the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the cows.
That's mine.
Acres, grass and trees, country roads. Acres of sunflowers with wood fence. Acre of sunflowers with wood fences. Medium green pastures and hills. Okay.
All right.
We needed 3 words, not war and peace, Seago.
All right, number 2. Now think of a cube. How big?
A cube?
Yeah, a cube.
Okay.
So how big is the cube? What is it made of? And what is the surface like? There's a couple of I'll just read them all. What color is it? Where in the field is it?
Oh, is this in the field?
Oh.
Yes, it's in the field.
Oh, okay.
Where is the cube? Is it on the ground? Is it floating? Whereabouts is it? Is it transparent? If so, can you see inside of it?
Yeah. Ball cube. That's pretty much what I was thinking, Deb. Floating red and shiny. Centre of the field, blue on the ground. 100-foot wood brown on the ground. Large down centre of field on ground. What you put, Sam?
6 inches plastic blue on the ground, not transparent.
And we're moving right along.
Okay, I think everyone's got theirs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now think of a ladder.
Is this still in the field?
Yeah, this is still in the field.
Okay.
How long is this ladder and where is it located in your field? What's the distance between the ladder and the cube?
I'd already thought of that before you asked the question.
Is it raining heavy?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Persisting down.
A foot away, the letter A.
So like
That's
an
interesting.
A-frame ladder.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tara's, come up with an A ladder.
That's very cool, Tara. I didn't even think of that.
What you put, Sam?
6-foot ladder on the edge of the field, 100 meters from the cube. I'm not good with distances because it's a 1 acre feet. But it's a guess.
To the sky at the edge of the clearing, the cube floating is in the centre. It is relaxing to listen to that rain, Seago.
It is very much.
Ladder leaning upon a tall tree reaches the first branch of tree near the cube. Okay. Between the trees, walk away, huge distance below.
Sound of rain. It's either very relaxing or make you want to go to the loo.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm working on the ladder once this is over. I laugh too much.
Think of a horse. What colour is the horse? What is the horse doing? And where is it in relation to your cube?
Well, that's what it's doing.
Okay, Julie. That's interesting.
Just popped into my head.
Well, that does sound very promising, Tara. Black staring at you from far away by the trees.
Okay, good answers.
What you put, Sam?
Brown horse eating grass 6 feet from the cube. I was going to do pooing, but I decided to put eating instead.
I did. That's what I saw my horse doing, having a dump.
Yep.
Because that's all horses ever do, eat or dump. It was one or the other.
Okie doke. Do you want me to wait for you to? I'll wait for you to answer, Deb.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one is flowers. Think of flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the flowers in your field and how many are there?
What type of flower? What was the other one?
Where are they? And
yeah, where are they and how many are there? All those are daisies everywhere. Nice. Around the cube, 2000. Spread out everywhere.
what you put, Sam?
Buttercups, the yellow buttercups, all over the field. So there's millions or thousands or whatever.
Nice. Yeah. Along the border. Gerber daisies. Gerber. Banksia daisies. Nice. Okay. Next one. Is that everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Think of what the weather in the field is like. Is it raining? Sunny? Is your field foggy?
I'm just checking the back of my paper in case I dumped myself.
Okay. And I'll wait for Seago. Oh, yeah, Seago did his. All right. Last one. Think of a storm. What is the distance between the storm and the cube? Is it a big storm or is it just passing through?
So we've got a storm.
Yes.
I don't have to imagine.
What's the distance between the storm and the cube? Is it a big storm or is it just passing through? Jeff's horse is getting agitated. All right, that's the last one. So when everyone's ready, we will read the results.
Right, I need to scroll back up there.
Yep.
Doing it the old-fashioned way.
Okay, that's the field.
It
All
starts
right.
off with my comment saying large grass and a tree with trees.
Yep. All right, so the field is the first one. The field represents your mind. Its size is the representation of your knowledge of the world and how vast your personality is. The condition of the field, whether it's dry, grassy, or well trimmed, is what your personality looks like at first glance.
Okay.
So if your field is dry and dead, you're feeling pessimistic. If it's grassy and healthy, you're feeling optimistic.
So I'm feeling optimistic.
Yeah. And if it's well trimmed, you're analytical and cautious.
Analytical and what, sorry?
Cautious.
And cautious.
So what about what it's surrounded with? What does that do?
That's all it says.
So why did it ask what it was surrounded by?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's your represent, because it says here your representation of your knowledge of the world and how vast your personality is. So maybe they want to look at how big your knowledge and your personality is. Maybe the vastness of your personality is what's beyond your field. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty vast.
One acre full of cows surrounded by mud.
In the same pen as that poor bloody rabbit.
I don't know what the cows represent.
Well, if you were a Kiwi,
you view the world in black and white.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Full of shit.
Cows have two stomachs.
Hang on, let me just grab. I'm back in a sec. I'm just going to grab the mail before Coco notices it's come through.
Okay. I'm surprised she didn't bark.
Yeah, normally she goes ballistic. Oh, dear. Rabbits and cows, poor Sam. There's a theme building.
Yeah, I don't have a very good history with cows.
Did you watch that video, Deb?
Yeah, I did.
I did. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Bloody Nightbot's not coming up.
Oh, God almighty.
Should have went to the bathroom while I was waiting for break.
Oh, I think we all could do with a toilet break. All this rain in this cup of tea.
I'm going to go real quick.
Geez. Go. Well, I hope everybody's enjoying this as much as we are, because this is hysterical.
It's a bit different, yeah. You know? We went from one emotion to another emotion. Have
we done the second question yet?
No, Julie's gone off to the little girl's room. And here comes Brett with the sound of wetting the lettuce. No?
I don't know. No, I don't think I've got my mic set up to run it through. Hang on. Is it? Can you hear it?
No.
No, I ain't got it piped through at the moment. That's why.
Oh, if I'd have known that, I'd have gone earlier.
Yeah. Deb's rain sounds louder, actually.
Oh, dear me.
We're on to the. I just ran upstairs when the postman came.
Yeah. Did you?
What we're on to next? The cube.
Yeah. What it's made of, and its size and where it's positioned in the forest or the field or whatever.
Well, I'll put large, metallic, smooth, silver, floating and revolving. Wonder what that's going to mean.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I put huge, metal, and in the sky, so ball cube. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah, it was me as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about mine. I put 6 inches in plastic, blue.
I came back and I heard 6 inches in plastic.
This is not going to bode well.
No.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Indeed.
Oh, this is for the cube.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Indeed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. The cube represents you. The size of the cube.
So Sam's 6 inches plastic and blue.
The size of the cube.
Papa Smurf! Oh my Godfather.
Is your ego.
Oh, you've only got a small ego, Sam.
Yeah.
Kanga picked that. She just is the cube, the ego. Good on you.
Yeah.
And
picked
I'm
that
not
up.
transparent.
Hi, Tansy. I hope you're well, darling. Love and light to you.
Dear.
Mwah.
Right, so the size represents the ego.
Yep. The surface of the cube represents what is visibly observable about your personality.
Well, mine was like metallic and mirror-like, so what does that
Yeah,
mean?
mine was metal as well.
Maybe
What does that
it's
mean?
what you want others to think about you. I will get into that. I didn't actually think about that, but I saw mine as smooth, even though I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I'll rip metallic and smooth.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't do well there. Plastic and blue.
Oh.
Oh, I'm a bit of a fake. I'm a bit of a fake.
The texture of the cube represents your nature. So this is what it means.
Oh, I got a smooth nature.
If it's smooth, you're a gentle person who takes care not to hurt others or make them feel uncomfortable.
Well, that's bullshit
Right.
for me. I should have ripped rough as God knows what.
Okay, rough. You're more straightforward. You tend to be honest in everything you say, no matter how it might affect the person you're talking to.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I can't argue with that.
If it's bumpy or spiky, you have a tendency to criticize others in an attempt to make them feel inferior to you.
Oh, no.
I don't think anybody
that.
put bumpy
I don't
or
think
spunky,
anyone.
did they?
No.
I was thinking
I
of a ball cube and its textures. But
So what
yeah,
about whether it's on the ground or not?
Okay, so this is the color. Okay.
Right, okay. So I'll put
So-
silver.
All right. So red, which was mine, you're physically active and enjoy rich sensory experiences.
that's true.
Yellow, you're sociable and cherish your individuality.
I'm waiting for blue.
Blue, you're intelligent and respect others' ideals.
There you go,
Yay.
Sam.
Good one. Beautiful.
Even though I'm
Violet,
still plastic.
Violet, you're intelligent and a bit of a perfectionist. You are also mysterious. Grey, which would be silver, I guess. You're self-confident, independent, and not easily rattled.
Yeah, that'd be me.
That'd be me. That's
Modest as well.
Yeah.
Black, you have a strong sense of individuality and independence, and you put a high value on alone time. White, you're kind,
is me.
independent, and self-reliant.
Mm-hmm.
So other characteristics. Did anyone choose a transparent cube?
No.
I think Seago did. This is glass or something, wasn't it? Oh, no. Jackie Evelyn mine is glass, transparent, and as big as a person sitting in it on a chair.
Okay. So if your cube is transparent, it means you tend to let others know how you feel on the inside. You're confident enough to show your inner thoughts and you're deeply sincere. You know that you're good inside, and guess what? It shows. That's what most people see in you as well. Water or ice?
No,
think
mine
anyone
was
had
mine
that.
was mine was more mirror-like.
Yours was metal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So a cube made of metal or rock indicates that you have a solid integrity. Your personality is so strong that it cannot be bent or influenced by any external force. You're dominant and consistent.
That's probably
That
right.
sounds like us, Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
And then there's a hollow cube. I don't know if anyone chose that though.
What does it say anything about plastic?
No, it doesn't
The
say
Sam's was
anything
plastic.
about plastic. It says a hollow cube.
And cheap and nasty.
The truth about the rabbit comes out.
All right.
I'm not touching
So the
Is
ladder.
the horse next? Is it the ladder or the
Yeah,
horse?
The ladder.
It's the horse, isn't it? Hang on, back in a second.
I'll wait.
Carry on talking.
All right. We'll wait for Brett.
I thought it was the horse.
No, the ladder's next.
Oh, the ladder's
Okay.
next, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, for anyone who may have had like a water or ice, it kind of means you let external elements influence you completely. Your personality is sensitive to social pressures, relationships, and other environmental factors. If you have a hollow cube, it means you're primarily concerned with your outside appearance, far less care for what's going on within. However, this does not mean that you have nothing to offer on the inside.
So if the cube's solid, what does that mean? On the inside as well as the outside?
Solid.
Or it's multifunctional like a full cube on the inside?
Yeah,
I'm back.
kind of doesn't, that would probably go along the same lines of being made of metal or rock because they're solid.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Well, I presume so would plastic. It'd just mean you're slightly more pliable. I'd have thought with plastic.
Yes. If Sam saw it as being a solid plastic and not hollow, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the ladder. The ladder represents two different aspects of your life, your goals and your friendships. First, let's look at what the ladder says about your goals. If your ladder's short, your goals are realistic and simple.
Mine was long.
If they're long, your goals are far more fetched and difficult to attain.
Okay.
Then your ladder's distance. If it is near to the cube,
Mine was propped against the cube.
Yep, which is near.
Okay.
You're putting maximum effort and focus into achieving your goals. If it is far away, you aren't putting much thought or effort into achieving your goals.
Where was Sam? Yours was 100 meters away, wasn't it?
Yes.
See, got to get them coffee mornings going.
Yep.
Okay, so short, long.
If I can take the plunge, Sam, you've got no excuse, huh?
Yeah, I will get back to it,
Mm-hmm.
So they have another ladder. They have another ladder distance here, but it ties in with the element of what your ladder's made out of.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of us wrote down what it was actually made of.
Well, you didn't mention that. I just saw it as a wooden ladder.
Yeah, mine was wood.
Wood, but really sturdy, strong.
Yep.
Yeah, well, they don't make wooden ladders anymore. It's sort of banned. So, I would have envisioned an aluminium ladder.
Okay. So, if your ladder was strong, the stronger the material, whether it be stone, metal, something like that, the stronger your bond. If your ladder is near the cube, you're very close with your friends. If it's actually leaning on the cube, Brett.
Mine was leaning to the top.
Yep, it means your friends can lean on you for support. Okay. So a weak ladder indicates a weak bond between you and those around you. And if it's far away, you have a hard time opening up to people and letting them close to you.
There you go, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to move that ladder to within 10 feet.
Yeah.
Mine was right next to it.
Mine was on the edge of the field and 100 feet or 100 meters from the cube.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, horse. Are you ready? So, the horse represents your ideal partner. It could be playing.
God, here we go.
Here we go.
It was what?
It could be it could be playing, running around, or grazing right next to your cube or across the field. I just remembered what Brett wrote.
Well, it was having a dump next to the cube.
It was definitely doing it. It's having its ablutions.
What colour was your horse, Brett?
Chestnut.
So it was brown.
Yeah.
You prize comfort and reliability above all else. Otherwise, you don't have a specific set of expectations for your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't have one for bogging next to you, but I think we all know that. I think we all know what's going on there.
No, don't just don't do that.
Would that be playing, Brett?
Well, yours was licking the cube, so what does that say about you?
Whoa!
Moving on.
And it's brown and white spotted, so it don't sound very healthy to me, whatever you're licking.
Yeah. But...
Okay.
It's blotchy.
No.
Yep, have a cup of tea or something, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's.
Yeah, because it was like a Palomino kind of, breed. But anyway. So if the horse is playing, your ideal partner doesn't take life too seriously or get bogged down by little stuff. Mm-hmm. If it's running, your ideal partner will respect your space and give you the alone time that you crave.
Or see you as a psycho and run fleeing. More like.
No, I had running free for my horse.
Yeah, you did. If it's sleeping or grazing, your ideal partner is calm and fully committed to you. Probably that's my one. Mine was licking. I don't have one.
What was yours doing, Sam? And what colour was it?
It was brown. It was eating, and it was 6 foot from the cube.
Okay.
So it's calm.
Do I need to get a fire? Did I need to go and get the fire blanket or fire extinguisher for you, Julie? I mean, what's going on here?
Perhaps. So yours, Deb's was black. So your ideal
black stallion,
dominant, seductive, and sophisticated.
That was Tara's, but it was black and staring at her from far away. So,
yeah.
So what does that say about what Tara's partner thinks of her if it was at the other end of the field staring at her?
Oh, Deb got cut off. It depends. Yeah, probably from a song.
I wonder what it would mean if the horse was chasing you out of the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Would that be playing?
No. It would be showing aggression.
I myself.
Oh. And then there's a white horse, if anyone picked it. It says
Seago, pick white.
Okay. You value loyalty and trust more than anything else in a relationship. Okay, is there anyone who got another colour? Something
on the road's also white as well.
No one got like a rainbow horse or anything?
Fairy said unicorn.
A unicorn.
Unicorns are white.
Okay, so if your horse is a completely different colour than the ones listed, think Wizard of Oz. It means you value originality and independence in a partner. You want to be with someone who fascinates and challenges you.
Ooh,
there you go.
That sounds like me.
One more factor to consider about the horse is its distance from the cube. If it's very near the cube, it indicates...
Mine was.
Yeah, it indicates that you prefer relationships where you spend most of your time with your partner. If the horse is a bit further away from the cube, it indicates a need for a partner who will understand and accommodate your desire for alone time.
Shit, mine should have been 2 fields away.
I hope Jace isn't going to watch this.
That's probably why he crapped next to your cube, Brett.
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right.
Poor Jace.
Flowers.
Flowers.
The flowers represent your family and your friends. The number of flowers reflects your popularity, and their location indicates how close you are with your social groups. Just a few flowers means you're close with your family and have a small, tight-knit group of friends. If they're everywhere, you're a social butterfly. With family
I'm a
and
social
friends
butterfly.
too numerous to count, you'll never be lonely. All right, I think this is the last one, the weather.
Oh, God. Oh, I'll put sunny.
Yes. Wait, I've still got 2 answers. 2 sunny, warm, and inviting.
Yeah,
And
that's
then the last
weather.
one,
Yeah.
huge storm surrounding cube settling
Oh, the
in.
storm. Yes, that's right.
Yep. Oh, okay.
The weather in your field reflects your general outlook on life. There's a reason we have expressions like, when it rains, it pours. So if it's raining, that symbolizes the problems in your life. The harder the rain, the bigger the problems. If there's fog, you feel uncertainty in life and may be struggling with your identity. Good night, Del.
Night, girls.
Good night, Xavier.
They said good night. It's Mon.
Mon. Good night, Money.
If it's windy, though you tend to worry about future issues, you generally don't let them get you down for long. If it's sunny, you're optimistic and carefree.
That's all right then.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love pina colada and getting caught in the rain. I don't like cricket. I love it. I love my cricket. I do. Sorry. I just had a moment there.
Now it's the storm.
The strength and position of the storm reflect the stress you're feeling in life. As you probably guessed, the stronger the storm and the closer to the cube, the higher your stress level. If you imagine the storm raging right above your cube, it might be a good idea to work on reducing stress. A mild storm just passing through or in the background. While you aren't immune to stress, you know that all things must pass. If it's a strong storm and you're in the eye of the storm, when you stress, you go all in and have a very hard time pulling yourself out again.
Well, mine was a big storm far away. It ain't covered that one.
Mine's a small storm, 5 miles away. Passing through.
Mine was a huge storm surrounding the cube and it had settled in.
So maybe you stress a little bit too much about it when things go wrong, but you understand that it won't last.
That'd be true.
Not if it's settled in. It'd be the obvious. It'd be the opposite. It'd be not staying. It'd be the ones where you wouldn't.
But even if it's settled in, like this potentially may pass, be sunny and whatever tomorrow. This too shall pass.
I'll put big storm far in the distance, not staying. So I don't know what that means. Well, it obviously means I ain't that bothered about it.
Yeah, it means you know it'll pass. Yeah.
Yeah. Like everything else in life, it's not a permanent state. So if it settles in for a while, then I know my cup will be full again. I don't sweat it, so not sure what to make of that.
There you go, guys.
Quite interesting.
Very revealing.
Mm-hmm.
That first one was pretty cool.
That first one was,
Yeah, that was
pretty
awesome.
pretty smick.
Sam did a miscue on us. For all the wrong things for nearly every question.
Yeah. Which was fun, eh?
That was funny.
Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. I hope to see you next Friday. Yes, the kickoff for my channel is Friday. And you'll see a lot of these reprobates. And, come join.
I'm just going to grab you guys' links. I tried to fix Nightbot tonight before I went live, and it's just not working. I'm not sure why.
It ain't come on again, has it?
No, it hasn't come back on, which is just giving me the poops.
Yeah, use the Streamlabs bot. It's a lot more reliable.
I'm definitely going to do that. I'll get your help to set it up if you'll help.
And the answer to your question, Jackie, if I'm nervous, I have peanut buttered every day in the build-up once we set the Friday for the going live for the first time. So, yeah.
Looking forward to it, though.
Yeah, I'm sure once I get over the first one, I won't be quite as nervous about how to get people into the room and all the getting used to StreamYard. That's my only, I'm not familiar with it like you guys are. But it will, I'll adapt. I always do. And yeah, not straight away, but we were talking off channel last night and some of the subjects that I want to look at. And it was interesting our individual opinions on circumcision. So we'll be discussing that. If you're a parent of a young boy, or you're looking at starting a family, what your opinions on circumcision are. Are they based on religious grounds, social pressure?
All right. Well, I don't know what else to do. We could probably go into having a chat about coal, touching base about coal, and going through a few things, because for anyone who missed Brett's stream, which was our morning this morning or Brett's night last night, Sam has had a couple of very interesting things pop up this week during her spirit box sessions in regard to Cole and his family, and also on Brett's stream we had a few names and things come through the spirit box. Do you want to talk for a second about those, Sam, if that's okay?
Yeah, last week, I kind of even forgot about Cole, and you got shocked. It said Cole, and it actually did.
Yeah.
Which was kind of interesting, because that is a name over here that we don't often hear,
No, it ain't common over here at all.
Yeah.
Then it started calling out all the names on panel here, which was kind of odd, one after the other on the one recording. So that was pretty interesting as well. Chances of that happening are pretty slim on, Spirit Box, to get Julie, Deb, and Brett. In the one session, that's not going to happen if it's just radio. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah. The more. See, people think that you can just turn on a Spirit Box and do a session and then put it away for a number of months and then take it out, and you're going to be full of responses. You need to sort of keep that connection. You need to keep doing that.
Absolutely, yeah.
At least once a week or once every 2 weeks or whatever. Just to keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it sort of connected, you know.
Yeah,
Why do you think that is? Do you think that could be like what we were saying, that there's some element of us involved in it to keep it going?
Yeah, a lot of researchers had tested, even I tested myself, where you turn on the spirit box and you just leave and you just stream for a couple of hours, just the spirit box running, and very little comes out. The very little comes out. That's why we're called operators. You know, I think the theory is that the communicators work through us. Now, nobody's going to be able to explain to you scientifically how that happens because it's just a theory. But in general, the spirit box works more when the operator is, asking the questions. Otherwise, you're communicating, if there's any communicating coming out of the box, it's not communication because it's not communicating with anybody unless they're communicating among themselves,
Yeah.
What's the point in doing that,
Yeah.
So I think connection is important, and there was a time there where I was getting pins and needles in my hands and my feet and my face and that. It's kind of died off for some reason.
Oh.
And I don't know what it is, but it used to happen only when I was doing sessions or even listening to sessions back, but not in my everyday life. So it's not a medical condition of any kind. So, I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I think last night's session was interesting because not only did we hear several of our names last night through the box, but we also heard Cole's name, his wife Zara, which is a really unusual name, Jennifer and Sarah,
and Jenny.
And Jenny, yes.
Yeah.
And to have that many names come out in just one session, out of all the names in the world, I mean, that was kind of ironic that we got that small group of names that meant something to us. Yeah.
And what's interesting, they ain't names that really come through on Sam's box in any other sessions anyway. That's what made it really interesting.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, and what we used last night actually was a fresh box. It had one section.
Right.
It had one section. It basically it was shipped over from America. It only had one other session, and that was a couple of minutes after I took it out of the box, basically. And interestingly enough, it worked straight off the bat. Asked where did the box came from. It said Rob straight off the bat. Rob Hernandez is the guy who made the radio, so chances of that coming up. People say, "Oh, you just got lucky." Well, we seem to get lucky too many times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I agree.
You can only put down to luck so many times.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you're asking for numbers and you're getting numbers, yes, there is a possibility of chance, but it is slim. And if you're asking for more numbers and you're getting more numbers, chances of that being chances even further, further away. And that's why ITC researchers take radio sweeping seriously. Of course, we're still trying to prove it, to improve it. What do they actually use? People say static. The older ITC researchers say it's static. But there's more people now saying that frequencies is more important than static. But when they say, we've got a static free box, when you have a broadcast coming in, there's always static in the background, even if it's ever so slight.
Yep.
So, way back in the old days, we used to use just nothing but static of a radio on a single frequency. we got stuff, but it was very, very few and far between. It was a lot less than what we get here. And people that would argue with us say, well, you're using human speech. Yeah, but it seems like the human speech is helpful. Not, how, the way of moving forward here is trying to separate further the human speech from the actual, communication speech. There is a tone difference.
Yeah. But if you think about it, Sam, if they're just working with static, they have got to form those frequencies from the sounds they've got. Correct. If they have got words already being formed, that's going to make their job a lot easier. They're going to have to change less.
Yeah.
So there is an argument to have the speech there.
Yeah, well, I use static, but I use static more in the EVPs. When you're doing EVPs, it's called background audio support, where it seems to carry that communication through, rather than just. And that's why sometimes we use these older recorders with the bit of hissing in it. That helps carry that communication and stuff like that. But I got more success with EVPs than direct radio voice, and I have done direct radio voice,
See, where a lot of the arguments fall down of it's just voices. There are there's countless examples out there where you can conduct a conversation on a spirit box and you are getting the response of the same sounding voice the entire time. Now, if that was just voices off the radio, the voice, both sex and pitch, would change constantly depending on which channel you were currently on.
Yes.
So there's evidence there that something is manipulating the sound to make it sound the same no matter what part of the frequency band the radio is currently on.
Yeah. Well, I've done trials too. People say, well, eliminate as much radio as you possibly can. So I, put radios in Faraday boxes and Faraday cages and stuff like that. And other researchers says what you're doing there is you're blocking frequencies, so you get less communication, which turned out to be right.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. It's all trial and error. You got to try something to know whether it works or whether it's not effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that a lot of the communication we've been getting over the past probably at least month has been interesting, because I've noticed, especially over the last week or two, when we had the responses coming through the box about the communicator, the teacher.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, and the talk about how they think that we're the dead ones. I think that's going to be really interesting to explore further.
Yeah,
I agree.
The
what was go on, Sam?
I'm just going to go to the.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing about the box that we're using on the show here is, it's beyond fast, which is sort of like possibly overclocking the actual radio builder. Actually doesn't fully know what actually was going on with that. It's his friend that actually discovered that. And what comes out, there's less case for pareidolia because not very much comes out at all a lot of the time. There's no if it's tuned right to the response mode, you should only get snippets of words coming out, not even music. If you get it right on that mode, you shouldn't even get music. So if it's actually scanning the radio, it should be still getting music.
Yeah.
But in that proper, I don't even think we were in proper response mode last night. I still can't sort of get it. It's sort of a thing that you hit upon, sort of thing, where it could go silent for about 3 or 4 minutes, and the next thing just come out with a word. So it's eliminating pareidolia a lot with this particular radio.
See, what was interesting about last night as well was we got devil, demon, angel, and all that coming through a lot. Now, as you know, I don't believe in them. You lot go and actively encourage them, but we joke about them a lot. And suddenly we're starting to get these words. It's like they're almost responding to the things we're talking about while we're doing the session, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily saying we're talking to, you know, they're just mentioning the words because they know we joke about them, sort of thing.
It's pretty prominent in the other house that I do sessions, and that's Rachel's house. But here, you know, that occurrence is pretty rare because I do sessions every day and I don't get those words.
See, because I don't believe in them, I don't believe people talk to demons and angels on spirit boxes anyway. You know, but the fact the words are being mentioned, I think it's just happening because we're joking about it. It's their way of having their joke is what I think's going on. You know, just by saying the word to watch us laugh at it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've had one response in regard to, you know, calling for help and that. What can I do? They said pray. You know, but that's only happened actually once. That actually only happens actually once. Other times I ask, can you say clearly what I can do to help? And you've lost sort of you don't get communication back on that. You don't get the information. But once I did actually say pray, you know.
Yeah. Have either of you, Jeff asked, what do you think of the Miracle Box app?
I've just answered it.
Did you? I've never heard of it.
Or is that Steve Huff's Miracle Box? Oh yes, Steve Huff's. We're talking about. You see, in the line of apps, I would rather use my own software than use somebody else's, sound banks. And I don't specifically like apps, but what the results I was getting was different than people using apps. While
the reason that is, Sam, is because you're using sound banks of recordings you've made of general stuff, whereas the sound banks they use in apps are specifically created to have tons of spooky and paranormal related words in them, and that's why you get all the saying demon all the while and ghost and the creepy voices and stuff. They are literally designed that way to constantly come out with creepy sounding shit, basically.
And to use noise pareidolia as well.
Yeah.
Well, what I done to get to make the banks was directly record from the spirit box, a link straight from the spirit box into the recorder, record the spirit box, put it in Audacity, flick it backwards, and it's not when you play it back that you ask some questions and stuff like that. Some of the interesting stuff came up imprinted in the bank itself. Like back a lot. The last one that I done, there was a lot of backward speech. There was a lot of forward speech in it. I mean, like I've had sentences with 4 or 5 words in backward speech, and it's imprinted in the recording, not calling it out like a spirit box. That's the results I'm been getting.
Yeah. See, the other thing you've got to bear in mind with apps is the way they're actually programmed. They are programmed to spit something out constantly, whether it's if you put a spirit box or an act radio next to an app and you run them side by side, you will find that the spirit box will have quite long gaps in between responses, whereas the app will spit out 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things in the time it takes to get 2 responses on an app, and that is done for a reason. Apps are designed to constantly throw shit out there. Sorry, I've got to stop swearing. Okay. To throw stuff out there to make it sound like there's things happening. They are programmed to throw anything out every couple of seconds. Yeah, and that's why people are convinced, we're getting brilliant communication on the app. No, you're not. All you're getting is an app that is programmed to constantly throw out something every few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to experiment in apps, there's a program for the computer called EVP Maker. You know, you can record bits and it'll flick it around and it'll chop it up for you. And that's other than that, you know, I would use you know, Steve Holt's live Ghost Box, which is backways kind of thing. And it's a live spirit box, and it's similar to you asking questions to my spirit box. So if you hadn't got a spirit box, you could still have live spirit box through your. I don't know. Maybe it's on Android as well. I don't know, but I get it from the website, Steve Holt's Holte Paranormal's website, where he has a radio going all the time. You know, and it's broadcast now 24/7. So you can get access to hacked radio. You know, when you're out and about, or if you're on the computer and you don't have a spur box as such. You know.
I just had a quick look to that Miracle Box app. Does work on a sound bank.
They all do.
Yeah, it doesn't have words in it, Jeff, per se, but it has a sound bank. So it'll spit out all sounds instead, which is parts of words and things.
Yeah.
But it still gives you the effect that words are being put together because it creates like a noise pareidolia.
Believe it or not, phonetic sound banks are probably more likely to throw out words than a normal word sound bank are, because they're called phonetic sounds for a reason. They are a small combination of sounds that can be put into various arrangements to make words. And I always say a good example is Monday and demon. You've got mon and day, but if you reverse them, it sounds like day, mon, and people will hear it as demon. And this is how, you know, phonetics work. They are literally sounds that are parts of words. And they are a very small group, and all it does is randomize them. And the majority, you can take the majority of phonetic sounds, randomize them, and they will always say a word because they are chunks of words.
Yeah.
Hi, Stephen.
There is apps out there where there's no settings and you turn it on, and the reverb is up so high that it just repeats itself. Reverb is designed in the music industry to sort of
it's to hide bad sound in the studio.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. Now, reverb on a custom spirit box, you don't need very much reverb. You just need it. You know what? If I turn off the reverb completely off my box, you'll get the words coming out, but they stop sharp.
Yeah.
I turn it up to a tiniest little bit that I just round the sound.
It smooths out the endings of the sounds,
and it makes it pop. If you go a millimeter too far, then you've gone too far. But see, the risk is you want to have as much natural sound of the communication as possible. Otherwise, you're altering the evidence that's coming out, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So that's why I would stay away from processor pedals if at all possible, and that includes the noise gate, where you're actually putting a barrier. You're putting a wall for them to jump, because the lower frequencies then end up getting blocked out. And sometimes you get the communication on the lower frequencies. So you're actually blocking some of the frequencies that you need, you know?
Yeah. See, the Necrophonic app is the perfect example of why sound apps are bad, why Spirit Box apps are bad, because you get a lot of these creepy sounds come through on the Necrophonic. You know, funny little growls and little owls and strange sounding sounds. Now, those aren't being randomly generated. Those sounds are actually included as part of a sound bank. Now, why do you need to include creepy sounds in something that, you know, supposed to be communicating? It's all done for effect. And all it does is it's a random number generator. It picks which bank it is, which track on the bank, and how long it's going to play it for. You know, and the fact that they feel the need to add these creepy sounds into an app tells you all you need to know about apps. You know, they're for effect. That's all they are. And with the speed that an app is programmed to spit stuff out, it is inevitable you're going to start getting what you think are actually hits, but they're false positives, because you're getting that much stuff coming out. The law of averages comes into play, and it states, you know, you are going to start getting things that look like they're intelligent responses, when in fact it's just the, you know, it's just the law of averages coming into play, based solely on the sheer amount of stuff that the app is churning out in a short space of time.
Yeah, I think the Miracle app, Steve had said that he reversed it and then he chopped it up. And somebody else reversed the reversed audio, and it's not as chopped up as you might think sometimes. Yeah, I've actually heard, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The one thing about it is, you know, they did put more flexibility into settings, you know, sound settings, because you know, you don't want something saturated with echo and reverb. It's you're not going to get clear sound from that. But if you do, you know, there is ITC researchers that have got clear sound coming through saturated reverb, which actually eliminates that it actually was a radio voice. It was straight out through that saturated echo, but that was Spirit Box. It wasn't app.
Yeah.
But
so sorry, Sam. What you've got to ask yourself is, we know it's quite possible to, you know, mobile phones do it. You can actually listen to radio stations on your phone and stuff now, right? So it's perfectly possible for you to listen to radio stations over the internet. Why is it that all these big apps use sound banks and not direct radio streaming? And the reason is because you get better results with a biased sound bank than they would for using the actual radio stations being broadcast on the radio.
And they can also
that is your simple answer. Yeah, that is your simple answer. They can also
overlay it with sounds like whispers and doors banging and all sorts of stuff.
That's exactly what it's done. It's all done for effect. The sounds in an app is biased. There is nothing stopping somebody creating an app that works exactly the same way as a Spirit Box, because there are hundreds of internet radio stations that they could use and just randomly scan the Watsits and do it that way. But they choose the sound banks for a reason, because it's done for effect with biased sound banks that are loaded with words that are particularly relevant to the paranormal.
I would agree with some of it, not all of it. I mean, there is people out there genuinely trying to get frequencies together for that communication, you know, but you know, it's something I prefer. I definitely prefer radios, but you know, there is people out there genuinely, you know, try to put these sound backs together with as much frequencies, you know, a good pot.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Sam. If they just use the internet radio stations, they are using exactly the same method that a normal Spirit Box works. They're using live broadcasts. They are deliberately using sound banks because they can influence what comes through that Spirit Box. And no matter how much it changes, you are still going to work with the same amount of frequencies on a sound bank, no matter how many times you use that Spirit Box, that app. You know, it's never going to vary, because you are working with a set amount of sound in a set pattern. They can randomize it so you get different pieces of it, but it's never going to vary in its context ever. Whereas live radio stations are always going to be something different.
Radio will.
Yeah, But the other side of that too is, when people are experimenting with that and trying to put banks together, they're thinking outside the box. They're thinking outside of radio.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
Yes.
I mean, like that, we do need that. The problem is the app store is now saturated with the people that are making apps for entertainment and money, and people trying their best to try and make an app that works. And it becomes a sea of confusion,
The thing is, if somebody wants to make a sound bank to work, we all know that the human voice operates between a set range of frequencies. They don't even have to use words. All somebody has to do, and it's a very simple thing to do, is create a sound bank that literally ramps from the lowest end of the human voice frequency to the highest end of the human voice frequency. And then they can randomly select the frequencies from it like they do with the sound banks now. And that should generate human voices if it's working. That is the only way a sound bank would ever be viable, is if it is literally a linear recording of the entire range of the human voice frequencies without actually using words. Because then you can randomize it. The second you start using specific words in a sound bank, you are then adding in the corruption to it and the bias to it. It's very simple to create a sound bank that literally runs from a low frequency range to an high frequency range. And these people who babble on about, we're trying to get as many frequencies in as possible, they're talking out the backsides, frankly. They can do it. All they need to do is get a frequency generator. You could Google it on Google, what is the frequency range of the human voice? Then all they have to do is set that frequency generator to generate a sliding scale from the bottom to the top, record that and use it. And there is not a single word in it, but it covers every frequency used by the human voice.
I have actually frequency apps,
Yeah.
Where you, and the thing is, I'm not a fan of apps, but it was very interesting to try out sound banking and to find that sometimes you get your communication actually imprinted in the making of the actual sound bank.
Then that's more EVP than anything else. That's just an EVP occurring. It is interesting that it's coming into the WhatsApp, but as to sound banks themselves, they are extremely limiting in that you are literally working with a set amount of sounds that are never ever going to change, regardless of how often you use that app. The only thing that's going to change is the random order you hear them in, and that is why there is nothing stopping an app creator out there doing one that actually works exactly the same as a spirit box and uses live radio broadcasts, because it's quite possible to do now. And the reason they don't do it is because it wouldn't churn out all the junk that sound bank apps do. It would behave more like a normal spirit box.
Well, if you've got apps, Sam, why don't you patent and market them? They'd soon take off. People love their apps.
I don't know how to make an app. All I do is use an MP3 player or a radio that has a mini SD card, and I make the recordings up in Audacity, and then I chop them up, and then I put them through the thing. But 9 times out of 10, you put it in and play it back. Next thing you get in whispers, help me, and all this kind of stuff. And you have to go through the whole thing and try to snip all these things out. But it was interesting that you're getting that kind of thing when you've already chopped it up and reversed it.
True.
And I've actually had English EVPs coming up on somebody. I specifically used a voice that was speaking French, So, I like to use the voices from French and German and Japanese and other languages. And that's what we should be doing in the English-speaking world, is using foreign language, but chop it up and backwards, rather than English-speaking words, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, pareidolia, like with the spirit box, pareidolia is an issue, you know.
Yeah.
But there's certainly no need
pareidolia is something we're never going to be able to fully eliminate. It's a psychological process.
Yeah, but we might eventually, if the technology gets better. I mean, like, we're only less than 20 years into hack frequency or scan frequencies.
They have both, Julie.
You know, 2004, 2005.
They have surnames and Christian names in the sound banks.
No, GhostTube doesn't work on a sound bank. GhostTube is the one where you can put words into the app and it comes up like an ovulus. Do you know the one I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm asking whether it got just his first name or just his last name or something like that.
But an ovulus works exactly the same. It's still he's still working on a database of words.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, and that all that they do is that, and this is one thing you'll find in every app, is one of the sound banks will contain a huge, great sound file of just random first name and surnames, common first names and surnames, and that's why you find apps do churn out a lot of names, because it's pulling off the name sound bank all the while.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just asking him because he said that when he was using it, it spit out his first and last name.
Mm-hmm.
So to have that happen, I'm not saying that it was spirit or anything else, but to have that happen at the same time would be a 1 in a million kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, there is. I've seen sessions where, you know, I don't like using them. You know, if people want to use them, that, you know, it's your choice and that. But there has been sessions where I went, how's this possible? How is this person getting so many responses? Some of the stuff, you know, it couldn't have been in the sound bank because of the reply that they got. Do you know? So, you know,
there's no doubt there is, you know, they're using sound. So if they can manipulate radio sound, they can manipulate sound banks.
Yeah.
But the problem what you've got to remember with the app is specifically designed to spit this stuff out. And that's why, you know, so 99.9% of what that app spits out is going to be false positives. You're only going to be getting 0.1% that is actually genuine responses on them. You know, because the app, that is what the app is designed to do. The app is designed to spit out random words from God knows how many multiple thousands of separate words it's got in its banks.
And see, it's a good idea too, before you guys actually use these and spread them as being as gospel and 100% proof, I would encourage you, and I'm not saying they don't work in any way, but I encourage you to go out to research the app by the people that have put it together, look up the information and look up any information online from other people that have pulled these apps apart and looked at how they work, because I did that with the GhostTube. And I don't use it anymore because of the information that I found on the way that it works. That's why you don't see me use it anymore. So just make sure that you guys are researching the stuff that you're using as well. Because Brett's right in the respect that even these ones that have words that come up like an ovulus, or whether it's a spirit box or a sound bank sounding one, they all spit out words random. It won't just spit out words when a spirit comes into contact with it. It's on a timer to spit words out. So See,
and the ovulus type things are even worse, because they believe the way Spirit Box works is they actually manipulate the frequencies. There is no proof out there that a spirit is able to add a word into a sound bank on an ovulus. It's got to be existing in that database in the first place. So it's got to be there for you to hear a word. It's got to be in there already.
A good example of that, I actually got the iOvulus app. There's one called iOvulus. Every single time I use that app, it only ever spat out 3 words, and it spat them out continuously. Bacon, demon, and there was some other word, and it was only ever those 3 words.
Yeah.
See, because of the programming, that they can actually give what they call weight to certain words. So certain words have got a weight value, which means they are more likely to be chosen from random, because no random number generator on a computer is truly random. It works off a formula. But you can also add what they call a weighted value to certain words. So for say like 1 is the lowest chance of it appearing, 10 is the highest. Words like demon will have a weighted value of 10, which means that it is 10 times more likely to be spit out than other words, and that's how they work. But as far as Ovuluses work, unless that word is originally in the database, it will, there's no way spirits are interfering and causing it to, to spell it out. That would. Go on, Sam.
It actually has happened. If Bill Chappell actually is telling the truth, that he has words that had come out that he actually didn't put in the bank, but we can only take his word for it. He did say that it was triggered by EMF, but other people have used.
So is he the guy who actually designed it?
Yeah, digital dosing. Yeah, Bill Chappell. He said that the ovulus is triggered by EMF, but other people have used things like pumps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they don't seem to think that it actually is EMF that it's triggering it.
Yeah.
But he has been surprised that words have.
Believe it or not, because a lot of people don't realise how many sensors are actually built into your modern smartphone. You've got things like light sensors, gyroscopes. Most of these apps are actually triggered by the gyroscope sensor in your phone. And there used to be one out there that was used a lot called Paratech, which was another Ovulus type thing. And you noticed you could literally trigger a response off that just by shaking your phone, and it would instantly give you a response. Because that was the sensor that was being used to trigger a response. It was nothing to do with spirits. It was to do with the phone sensors.
Yeah, the Paratech had even a physical map out, so when you move the phone, you get a readout of the phone. But all these things are all experimental. How they move forward with it, I don't know. But at the moment, I'm sticking with radio. That's the line where.
See, the good thing about radio, Sam, is it's never the same. What you hear out of the radio one day is not necessarily what you're going to have coming through radio waves another day. Whereas you use an app, no matter what time of day or what year you use that app, you are still using a set amount of sounds built into that thing via the sound banks. It's never going to vary. So, you've lost the randomness of the frequencies there straight away. Then you've got to add on the fact that these apps are actually designed to spit out set words rather than actually have their frequencies manipulated. That is how apps work. They just spit out random words from a...
Some of them do, and some of them run their sound bank in a linear fashion, like. But
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how them run. They're still using the same frequencies constantly. The sound banks never change on the app.
No.
It's like you've all alluded to, but pulling it together in a succinct sort of fashion. The device will only do what it's built to do. and how it's constructed on to perform that what it's meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know that these devices have sound banks.
Yeah.
And you can only expect a certain outcome within a small framework of what that device will do and deliver for you. If you are happy with that, then carry on McDuffin. But if you are truly interested in pushing the boundaries of ITC research and what we loosely call the paranormal, then look at what the devices are and what they're intended to do, and what your intention is on how you use them.
Well, look how we discovered the other day. Our Alexa can detect ghosts in my house.
That's right.
You know,
we were all privately chatting, testing for the Skype session last night for Brett, just to make sure all the settings and everything. So it was a dry run. And Brett asked Alexa if there was ghosts in his house. It came up with yes. And it's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
We were all in stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine comes up with yes all the time, sort of thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's designed to say yes.
See, the analogy I like to use is using an app compared to a spirit box is like using a K2 meter that is designed to randomly flash lights every so often compared to a normal K2 meter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I compare them.
Just as a quick suggestion too, Jeff, if you don't like the white noise, for instance, of the spirit boxes, definitely look into getting a box like Sam has, because there are people out there who make them and sell them and and they sound amazing.
That new one she's got.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's portable. You can carry it in your hand like a walkie-talkie.
Exactly.
It's not hard.
Yep.
It looks like a Joe's box, but it's called an RTC box, and he didn't design it to fake a Joe's box. He used these casings in memory of Joe, but the Joe's box was a very, very good box. Unfortunately, the tuners kept burning out on them. A lot of some people, even Steve Huff had one, and it burnt out, and he just managed to get in contact. I don't know, maybe it was Steve Holte. Steve Holte used to work with Joe and got him another box, but what was coming out of the box was unbelievable. Really, really good, really, really clear, and these are really quiet. They're a PSP circuit in them, but the fake static was removed electronically, whatever way he does it. I don't know how he does it. So you got a PSP 7 FM circuit in there. You've got a sweep circuit, and you got a reverb circuit. All wired in. Yeah. Rather than having the sweep circuit of the PSP 7, the digital one, a separate, sweep circuit and that, and variable sweep. Now the problem is with custom built boxes, you'll see a lot of custom built boxes online, people selling them, and some of them are absolute, they're just garbage, glued together, absolute rubbish. Do your research in regard to custom made boxes, but there is some people out there. And actually, there was 2 companies that actually didn't deliver the boxes at all. I'm still waiting over a year. But if you can get a reputable person, Steve Holte, if you're in the United States, I can't get a box because he won't send one over from the United States. Steve's been doing he's been hacking radios and doing work on radios for a pretty long time since
I'm sorry. I always say to people, if you're serious about ITC, you've really got to force yourself and train yourself to listen to white noise, because white noise is the only true area of the frequencies where if you get responses through, they cannot be put down to radio bleed over or anything, because by their very nature they are random frequencies. It's a random frequency range.
Yeah,
And
I would.
you know, the most genuine communication will only come through white noise.
Yeah, I recently done a video. If you wanted boxes, radios, hacked radios that are pretty clean sounding. I done a demonstration on 4 different Roberts radios.
Yeah.
And you know, the R9921 was very popular here in the UK, and you can now get those radios for about between £20 and £30. Even hacked, you can get them for about £30. You know,
they were actually built here in Rotherham, Sam. When I bought my 9914, and I was searching for the circuit diagram for it, I found out that the Roberts factory is actually here in Rotherham.
All right.
That's where they were all manufactured.
Yeah, they're classed now as vintage radios because you know the modern radios.
Yeah.
A lot of the radios they run off one chip, and so there's very little circuitry in. But these are of all the old circuitry in it, very good quality, and they're clean. You know, when they're hacked, they're still pretty clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a
lot of the Roberts circuit boards. I know the one that was used in the 9914, which is the one I've got, and I believe the 9921 were actually stuck into different boxes and rebranded as Radio Shack radios as well. They're actually identical circuit boards. They were just packaged into Radio Shack cases. So the Roberts boxes are basically Radio Shacks, or more accurately, the Radio Shacks are actually Roberts circuit boards.
You know, I have an Optimus or 12-808, and that actually could be considered Radio Shack as well. You know, you know, and they're clean as well. If you know the 12-587, it's a good little radio. Extremely hard to find now, and extremely expensive when they are available. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them older ones are hard to get.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the 12-587. It stops scanning too often for my liking.
I don't like it either, but I've had some, you know, I've had a couple of really interesting responses with full sentences coming out of them, you know. You know, it's pretty good that way, but it's just, it just stopped. Both of them stopped scanning. I have 2 of them, and both of them stopped scanning on a regular basis, you know. But they're hard to find, extremely hard to find now.
All right, so what video is it, Luna? Let's debunk this.
Oh.
Look, I like the guys too. I just don't like fake crap. If it's legit, it's legit. But let's have a look.
Who are Joe and Chris?
Joe and Rob Ugu.
Rob does the Urban Explorers now that they've moved to North Carolina or wherever. But Joe and
they're
Chris,
in Carolina.
Yeah, they've moved out of Florida.
I'm just going to grab me a couple of tablets because I'm getting a headache. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
But,
so is it the Pipe House, the church?
Oh, yeah, the church was a good one. There was one before that, Joe's uncle's Renault. It's up for sale or something. Oh, mate. Talk about bullshit. It's the best belly laugh I've had in ages. How anyone's supposed to take that shit seriously, I'll never know.
Rob got real thin, didn't he? Since he's been working out, he's really slimmed down. Okay, so I'm guessing that's this said piano in the corner.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm wondering when it is that it flies over or whatever it does.
It happens. And the pipe house, the rattling of the pipes. Oh, give me a break.
Joe and Chris, are they
Joe from Urban Ghost Urban Exploration.
Yeah.
And Chris C from Chris's Crazy Something. Oh.
Yeah, there was a couple of videos there where there was some strange things going on, and I decided no, and
but their videos are always overlaid with whispers, demons, ghosts, gonna kill you.
All right, I'm going to mute for a second so I can listen to this. Pretty sure I know her already.
Chris's Crazy Crosswords, that's it. Crossroads, sorry. Crosswords. But, yeah.
I've got to be honest, I've never heard of her.
I still like it when they started off with urban exploring, but they've gone a little bit the entertainment route, shall we say.
Yeah.
There's nothing paranormal about what those boys do.
They used to work with Patty Adams. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
and that's all you need to know. That's why they got him. And Omar's apparently sold up, and he's moving. He's staying in Florida, but he's moving because of what Patty's guys are doing, putting posters about him and his family and all that jazz. So they all turned ugly in the end, but nobody more so than Patty. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, the other side, Omar is into real estate too, so if he's going to get a good price for his house, he's going to sell up anyway.
It's sold in a day.
But I think he was more suited to out in the country where he had his 4-wheeler and he had a bit of land and stuff like that. I think he liked that better than being in the gated community,
Yeah, he's going back to that lifestyle.
Do you know he had one of these camper vans and he couldn't even park his camper van outside his house in this gated community, and there's loads of regulations and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do over in the States. If you're in a gated community, they have their own little Gestapo for each one, who runs around telling people what colour the fences have got to be and everything.
Yeah.
But how clever to turn that camper van into a B&B and trick it out the way that he did. That's lateral thinking. And because of who he is, people go to it all the time.
Well, he actually has the camper van. The camper van is at his father's house. This is a caravan that he bought, and he done a retro job on it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good. Kudos for that.
He did have a clown house, but he did say he was taking the clowns out.
A clown house?
Clown house.
Clown
the house full of clown dolls.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No, he's just moving, Kim. They're just moving out of their gated community, apparently, because of all the stalker stuff and, all that crap. I don't know where he's going, but they're moving.
I think he's going back into the countryside again. I think.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what he reckons. He did a vlog on it the other day.
I think he was happier when he had his house in the country, where he was able to get on his his 4-wheel quad and drive through the bush and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's insane though that the police can't do more. If this was genuine, I find it strange that the police can't do more to get restraining orders or, stop these people from harassing him, especially if he's got video evidence. And he's
if he's in a gated community, these people shouldn't even be getting in.
Yeah.
Well, they are.
That's the whole point of a gated community.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've got to be honest, I don't watch the guy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
It comes up from time to time, and I just sort of pop in and, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just stay away from all of them now. As soon as the drama and stuff started, I pulled myself away from it.
Yeah,
me too. When all that blew up last year, I unsubbed basically from all of them for quite a while, and it's obviously still going on. But the one that I can't stand the most is that Jodie Dean's Walking Dead or Haunted Dead or something.
You can go there. I ain't. I ain't going there.
Yeah.
Nah.
Bullshit. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No, not going there.
I've got to be honest. I ain't got a clue what any of you are talking about.
Haunting the Dead.
Yeah, Hunting the Dead.
That's him.
He's a guy
Like
that films with Omar.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of him. I think I watched one of his videos, and one was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. One was enough for me, and I just thought, no. But Omar and others have had him on as a.
I don't watch him. I don't watch Omar. I don't watch them lot from Florida. Any, what is it? G Team?
Yeah, I don't.
G-Team.
I don't watch any of them.
I haven't watched them for quite some time.
I went outside the paranormal community at this stage because, you know, I had a lot of people that I used to watch and, you know, in the line of ghost hunting and that. I've kind of gone away from the ghost hunting now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and when it comes to the to the ITC and that, you know, I have a few people that sort of do technical kind of streams and stuff like that, and more sciencey kind of stuff. Boring to the average viewer, but sometimes very full of information, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I've got to be honest. I don't watch any ghost hunting teams anymore. Any.
I follow Julie, but as for the American entertainment community over there, no. And the UK as well. You've got to be very, you know, trying to look for other countries of paranormal investigations and so forth. You just have to be very studious in who you choose.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love watching them, but you soon learn what it's really all about.
I've got no problem with watching anybody as long, you know, but I'll watch them on the basis of what they actually are, not what they actually claim. You know, if I watch somebody and you can tell they're blatantly making things up, I'll just treat it as an entertainment thing and just watch it for that. I won't sit there convincing myself that, you know, they're God's gift to the paranormal community. It's just learning to filter out what's fake and what ain't.
Absolutely.
But I think what we really need to do is stop reading from the script of the paranormal TV shows, because that's what a lot of the witch hunters are actually doing.
Yeah. That's what all the ghost hunting teams are doing.
Do you know? Think outside the box.
Seen them all.
Well, see, I can't do anything like coming up anytime soon because I have things going on, you know, in my personal life, which I won't go on here. But October, I'm going down to my sister's for one of my niece's birthdays, and I have a few things planned to do down there then. But I'm going to do them my own way, in my own time, my own style. Yeah. Because like I've come a long way from when I first started making videos and streaming, but I think that my time with you guys as well has opened my eyes up to other things and the way that I do things.
Thinking outside the box. That's
exactly.
What we need. Yeah. Yes. That's what we need.
Yes.
And as we always say, do your research, and you've done that. You've grown immensely.
Instead of going and doing, instead of going and doing what everybody else does, go out and do your own thing, your own way. Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea who these people are that they're talking about in chat.
Go into it as if you've never seen a TV show. And work off your own instincts, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I think that's half the reason I got lost in the first place when I first started, is because I was doing things in a way that I thought was expected in a sense. And what I thought was working for other people, and now looking back on it, a lot of what I was doing wasn't real, or it was believing something because everyone else believed it.
See, the thing about paranormal investigating sometimes it takes sitting 3 hours in silence in a room with nobody else there. It's not going to be good TV, but that's sometimes the things that we got to do to get the results that we need. You know, so you know, there's a fine line. What do you do? Do you edit out everything else that doesn't have anything, or do you edit it down to 20 minutes? And it's, you know, yes, it's a nice bite-sized chunk for an average viewer. Or do people like the pure utter rawness of it, where every single second is recorded? I just, what I do is I run the camera. If I'm there 4 or 5 hours of footage is going to go up in its raw state, because that's a documentation of what exactly went on the whole time, not cut up. And sometimes in the beginning, I did cut out stuff, and I found out that I actually was cutting out EVPs and picked up on camera. Do you know? You know, but you know, there is a big, massive emphasis on what way do you please the viewer. You know, and you have these people too that constantly have the camera on themselves, talking to the viewer, which is actually distracting from what actually you're supposed to be doing. And the reason why I don't go live on a location is because if I went live on a location, I'm going to come across as antisocial because I won't be reading the chat. You can look all you want for hours and hours or whatever. I won't be reading the chat because I'm doing it. I'm concentrating on something.
You ain't got time to. Simple as that.
Yeah. Do you know? To me, it's the documentation and stuff like that. But you know,
see, I just wish people would broaden their horizons and stop saying the paranormal when what they really mean is ghost hunting. You know, because there is a lot more to the paranormal than just ghosts. But at the moment, with the paranormal community, when you say the paranormal, they swap the paranormal to mean ghost hunting. You know, and the paranormal itself is such a massive subject. And to be honest with you, ghost hunting is a very tiny part of it.
Yeah, that's ghost hunting, and the paranormal's like this much more.
Yeah.
I've muted myself. As we've discussed for the past 6 weeks or more, even the word paranormal shouldn't really be used. As Brett alluded to, we've discussed this so many times over, and there's a pattern to the things that we say, and we say them for a reason. You know, do your own research. There's so much more. Learn the history of psychometry, UFOs. Oh, I'm not even comfortable anymore with referring to whatever it is that we communicate with as ghosts or entities, or there's something else. And I know a word that I don't like spirits. I don't like ghosts, because nobody can prove what it is that we're talking to. And as we've discussed so many times, this is just my own humble opinion. Take it for what you think it's worth. Do your own research, as I always say. But at the end of the day, we don't have a language set that truly captures what it is that we're the four of us are interested in, and potentially those people that come and watch your live and engage with the topics that you are rightfully raising. And you're looking at it in a broader context, and you should be kudos to all three of you for that. You're not sitting there saying one thing that just goes along with what everybody else thinks. You're challenging people based on fact, science. There's a whole lot of things that go into this, you know. But yeah, I'm not even comfortable with referring to them as ghosts. We don't know. Yeah. In truth, we really just don't know. We're pushing the boundaries all the time.
I'm actually coming to the opinion now that some of the stuff we get through the spirit box ain't even paranormal, it's us. well, I suppose it is paranormal in a way. It's like mental projection, but I think some of what we get through the box is us.
Well,
you listen to Sam come through the box.
Well, we've heard Sam come through the box. Julie and I, was it last week or the week before?
Mm-hmm.
We actually heard Sam's voice outside of the box.
Yeah.
We've, but there is, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. There is something about the four of us, the more that we talk about these subjects, we're generating something. Now, we're generating an energy that is positive, informative, and I think coming through Sam's box with, we keep getting ancient, number 4. There is something about what we're doing when the four of us come together in a serious discussion. Yeah, sure, have a giggle and all that. But the things that we're doing, we're triggering an energy field around what we're doing. And I think that's why we're picking up the responses on Sam's boxes. And particularly given that new one and the things that came through last night, that just blew my mind all day long.
See, a lot of people that come into these streams too think that we sit up here and we have a go at people and we spin a yarn and all of this kind of stuff, and we actually don't. We're here to try to educate you guys in a sense that we do the research. So, Sam does all the ITC work. She knows what works, what doesn't work. Brett has countless years in the paranormal and has researched a plethora of subjects. I mean, I myself, even more so lately, have been going out and researching with the help of these guys. We research the facts and we bring them to you. So we're not just sitting here saying, oh, that doesn't work, it's rubbish, just because that's how we feel. It's because we've actually researched it and done the background work for you, So...
You said Fairy was crazy. You said Fairy Dragon was crazy. So you are saying my feelings and what I have been feeling is just my mental needs. So it is true that I am insane, as my family says.
What?
What's that in reference to?
I have no idea. So I was just glancing down. I was just reading down the chat, and I've just come to that one. I've just scrolled back, and I can't see.
Where did that come from?
What's that in reference to, Fairy?
I've got no idea.
Maybe she was trying to talk to someone else and put it in here. I don't know.
Yeah, because we were talking about other things. Sorry if we've missed something, Fairy. No one's claiming anything of the sort, and it's wrong for them to do so.
Yeah, we'll get there, Luna. You just keep spreading the truth, keep doing what you're doing, do it your own way, and eventually they'll come over because they'll get tired of all the other stuff that goes on, and eventually they'll come looking for truth, and they'll find channels like ours, hon. Absolutely.
When you talk about YouTube, you're talking a lot of people. There's a lot of consumption of investigation in places, and actually that is quite a complex process when you think about it, because you've got different aspects. You got the ITC, you got videography, you got photography, you've got lots and lots of things within that. And I came to the choice, rather than trying to master everything at once, to set on a separate thing. So I settled on the ITC. Now I do have night vision, and I do have full spectrum, and I have thermal and all that. I may get to that at some point, but I decided to sort of separate all the different sections within that sort of, and when you're say if you have a team, if you've got somebody that's great with photography or great with sound, and them working together, that's a good team,
Yeah.
Hello, Puss. So Puss has come out for some attention. Deb's boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, but you know, it's like I say, I've been interested in the paranormal for 40 years now, and I learn new things every single day.
Oh yeah,
every single day. Like it's only recently with the things we've been doing, I've started to wonder now: is part of what we get through on the spirit box actually us?
Yeah, me too.
You know, are we actually combining with whatever we're communicating with and adding to it?
Mm-hmm.
As like we're doing with Cole.
It's the same. Yeah, exactly. Like Cole, and there was something else too you were mentioning with Sam and Ed. No, it wasn't Ed. Was it this communicator or something?
Yeah, Ed.
Yeah.
Ed.
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 Okay, yeah, it was Ed. Yeah. And the way that Ed has kind of changed over time, you know, depending on how Sam is, or Sam's been adapting to Ed or something.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're coming together in a way.
It's like a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, or you know, Dave and Philip, you know, chip in the odd time, but you know, a lot of the other researchers are getting their Dave and Philip as well, and to them, they're sort of assistants in the communication. Basically, they're called the technicians, you know?
Yes.
And they would very often say, is there a tech here? And the theory around the tech is, say if you called out to a loved one, which you sometimes can't directly do that, Dave or Philip do that connection for you, if you know what I mean. That's the theory around tech.
Well, that opens up all sorts of questions and fields. And I mean, even the fact that, you know, Brett's referred to, and we all have, the connection the four of us are generating. It makes sense that our energy, so what is coming through? Our energy, our thoughts, our emotions. What is it that's this connection that we're sensing and feeling and experiencing in real time? What is it?
This is the beauty about the paranormal, how different parts of it could turn out to interlock. You know, ITC could actually have an overlap with mental projection. So the part of what comes through the box is actually what we're projecting into it.
Yeah.
You know, so that there's an overlap there.
When you think of Bacci, you know, Marcello Bacci and that, you know, he didn't, you know, every week he went to the town hall so people that you know lost their loved ones could talk to their loved ones and that. He didn't simply do one weekend say, you know, I couldn't be bothered doing it, but here's the radio, you do it. It didn't. It doesn't work that way. He had to be there. He had to be the operator. So he is possibly one of those, you know, like to say an operator. It's kind of the signal you know, the network, part of the network of the communication. The operator has to be there, you know?
Yes. I mean, we're energy. We're talking to energy. We're not talking to a residual person per se. I think, in my humble opinion, I think we're starting to prove that with our experimentations. Sam's box is highlighting a lot of things that we haven't even begun to discuss. We were going to wait for the Phillips experiment further down the line. But I think there is some tentative theories or speculations at this point, and around connection, energy. I mean, Julie and I are on the opposite side of the country. There's distance between Sam and Brett. There is oceans and seas between all of us.
Yeah.
Then how are these things happening? Why are they happening? These questions are fundamental to what we're doing and what we try to, I mean, before I go on with that thought, and let's just hold that, what everybody in chat needs to understand is, and you're starting to hear about us talking behind the scenes and, testing how the Skype and everything went. There's an awful lot of work that goes on between the four of us behind the scenes before anyone goes live. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of discussion on, what someone would like, what it means, information. If we share information with Julie and her UFOs, we all sent information. We share knowledge freely. Our experiences, the things that we've researched ourselves and what we've come across. That's why we've heard of these different things, and we go back in time, and they're not things that have just happened since the 60s and everybody discovered LSD. We haven't even discussed the topics. Well, I'd like to. I don't know. Who knows? I may be drinking.
We did discuss it, Deb. You were just out of it. You don't remember.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was having an out-of-body experience.
You were too busy talking to the pink elephant in the corner.
It was an interesting chat.
The thing is, you're always a student when it comes to the paranormal.
Absolutely.
You're never fully the teacher, because the teacher, there is people that teach us certain aspects of what they do, whether it's ITC with sound engineering or photography or stuff like that, but they're learning all the time too. Do you know?
Yes,
the information that you are taught by them is only the information that they've got so far. Do you know? And that information keeps building, Of
course it was. I mean, even 7 to 10 years ago, who would have imagined this level of communication globally would even be possible? Yeah. We thought the internet was a whiz-bang, thing. Now we've got StreamYard, Streamlabs, Stream this, Zoom that, whatever. You've got multiple choices on what you do and how you communicate with anyone in the world.
Yeah.
So, technology is changing. And that technology opens up different ways of thinking that nothing's set in stone. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's not promised.
We never thought in the 1980s we'd be walking around with computers in our pockets, because telephone was a communication device between two people. That was it.
There's actually a funny video on YouTube. You can Google it, and it's basically an interview way back in, I think it might be the 70s, maybe even the 60s. And it's this guy, this scientist, talking to this bloke and his son in this big computer room. And he actually says to him, one day, believe it or not, you'll be able to have this computer that fits on your desk. And look where we are.
Yeah.
And that's in the space of 50 years.
How quickly it evolves, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call it soon, Julie, because it's 25 to 3 and Jace will be here in about half an hour.
Okay. Yep, we can do that. We can call it now. I was just going to drop a link.
Do you know we've been going nearly 4 hours again.
All right, guys, we're going to call it for the evening. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming along this evening and joining us for another wonderful stream. I hope you all had a laugh and some good fun earlier. And please tune in. I've dropped a link there that is for Deb's new channel called Funky You Deb. She will be doing a live stream next week on Friday.
There's no dash in it, folks.
Sydney, Australia time, which is about 11 a.m.
6 p.m. for us in WA.
Yep, 6 p.m. in WA. And yes, we will see you all then. Thank you to Deb, Sam, and Brett for joining me this evening.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Privilege as always.
And we'll see you guys all next week. Bye.
Bye. Have a great day, night.